Let's just start the show. Here's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour one of Jon and Jim, and we do have a good show lined up for you here today. Mark Ziegler, friend of the show, will talk some Aztecs hoops with us later on. He'll join us at 4. And Chris Hodge, if you're an NFL fan, big weekend gets underway tonight. Chris Hodge taking Vegas. We'll have free picks for our listeners. He'll join us coming up at 4:30. We have to start here. And it's not specifically on last night, with the Padres now dropping 2 out of 3.
I thought you were going to say Michael Parsons' impact tonight in the game versus the Commanders.
No, we'll get to it. We have 4 hours. We're going to get to everything, I promise. We will get to the NFL. But where we're going to start is with the Padres dropping a series, disappointingly. But that's actually not, I think initially I wanted to go there and be like, are they just locked into the 5 seed? Is this just inevitable? There's 16 games left. I mean, just do the math. I'm a math guy. They're going to be the 5 seed, right? Okay,
are we going where I think you're going?
I'm wondering if 2025 vibes are similar to the 2021 and 2023 vibes, not results, but vibes. 2025 is a better team record-wise than 2023 and 2021. What 2021 and 23 have in common is they missed the postseason and were incredibly disappointing. This is not the same as that, but are the vibes similar? And the reason I ask it is because of what Kevin Acee wrote today in his newsletter, which apparently on Saturday, so they were in Colorado. They were shut out Friday. Remember that?
Yep.
On Saturday, the team goes to breakfast. What does that look like?
Where they go, like Denny's or something?
I mean, there's a lot of guys. Okay. So, like, it's a big breakfast. I don't know if it's brought in, if they go out. It's a big breakfast, right? Maybe it's at the team hotel.
Right.
So they're having breakfast. And
like the hotel lobby, there's just like breakfast buffet.
Maybe not the lobby, but like a room off the hotel lobby. And
what they have for breakfast?
There was like sausage links, there was fruit, there were pancakes, there may be, the waffle that you can make in like the circle, like waffle.
Ooh, yeah.
You flip over. You have to do your own batter though.
The best is if you go to like a theme hotel, like if you go to like the Disneyland Resort
it's
hotel.
got like the Mickey ears off
and you
of
can
it.
make like Mickey pancakes and Mickey
waffles. In your
waffles.
You could do blueberries if you want. You could do chocolate chips if you want, right?
Do you think Manny had a couple blueberry waffles or
like, do you think they had Mickey Mouse on them?
Yeah.
In Colorado? No.
He's like, oh boy. I can't hit this ball, but I like some Mickey pancakes. Oh boy.
Okay, hear me out. Let's stay on some path, which doesn't even exist. So they have a breakfast Saturday, and they wouldn't comment specifically on it, but there were some interesting quotes from Shildt and players about how they viewed the games they've played since. So this apparently was some turning point.
Turning point.
The issue since the turning point is they're kind of playing like they played before the turning point. I mean, they just lost the series to the Reds.
Yeah, they're 3-2 since this meeting.
Right. And they play the Rockies.
Correct.
And the Reds, 2 teams that are middling, and one of which is horrifically bad. So one of the quotes, listen to this from Jackson Merrill and tell me if this is a little odd, because to me it's very odd.
Okay.
He says this: everybody cares when they come to the field and we care about winning. Okay. I'm with you.
I hope so.
Haven't lost me. We can care all we want. When it comes to performing, that's a different type of care. It's going up there with a plan, not getting away from it and staying with it and doing it. I feel like tonight we were right there at the end, the last inning. We just needed to execute a little more. We cared today and we put our hearts out there. And that's what we care about. Don't give a beep about the loss. We don't, because we've got more games coming up. We cared today, and we put our hearts out there, is what he said.
Implying that there's days that they don't care?
He also said, I feel like tonight we were, where was it? Because he said, we can care all we want. When it comes to performing, that's a different type of care. I mean, and by the way, Mike Shildt has followed this line of thought post-game with, hey, we didn't adjust in game
talk.
As if to say, like, whatever they're doing pregame, whatever the plan is, there's some type of loss of focus or adjustment over the course of the 9 innings against an opposing pitching staff, let's say, or even an opponent's starting pitcher. I mean, if nothing else, it's fascinating that Jackson Merrill would say that, and Mike Shildt is going down that path, and the team met collectively in September. In September, they met collectively when things were going south to discuss all of this. So, like, my antennas are raised is the point, okay? My antennas are up. I'm not saying it's 2021. I'm not saying it's 2023, but I'm also not saying it's 2022 or 2024. That's my point.
Yeah, I don't the 2023 team just flat out said like they just give up in games. They just quit.
Right.
The 2019 team, that team quit. The 2021 team collapsed in more ways than just injuries. This team, I don't feel that. I just feel like they're, when you try too hard at something and it just doesn't work out, like you're just trying too hard. I feel like they do try sometimes a little too hard. I don't think there's a lack of care there from the team. I just think that these guys are just having all collectively down years. Manny's having a collectively down year with his slump since the start of the second half. Tatis has had a down year, even though he's kind of heating up a little bit, which is interesting to watch. Like
he's heated up.
He's kind of reverting back to, is this September Tatis of 2024?
4 home runs in his last 13, 3 in his last 7.
Like, I'm interested in that.
Yeah, no, he's been better.
Jackson Merrill's heated up of late, but overall for the entire season, it's not been a good year for Jackson Merrill. Same thing for Luis Arraez. Luis Arraez, for his career numbers, this team loves to talk about the back of the baseball card. Well, he's hitting 282 this year, I want to say. 280-ish this year.
Who?
Luis Arraez.
Okay. That's
about, 40 percentage points off his career average.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge dip.
Yep.
Just like you said, if a guy has a 270 career batting average and he's 40,
229.
Exactly.
That's a big problem.
It's a huge problem. So, all the guys that you expected to have big years, or at least of the top 4, you expected like at least 2 of those top 4 to have big years. Mostly, expecting Manny and Tatis to be those guys, and they haven't. I do find that interesting. How he phrases those things, like we cared today. Like, wait, you don't care all the time?
Yeah, because 2 things. You're right. What you're saying, the Arraez, Machado, Merrill, Machado conversation, you're spot on. They haven't had the years they hope to have. But I don't even care about that. That's not my point here. My point is, why is this going sideways when seemingly it should be going up at the most important time of the year? If ever a time to be playing collectively as a group, post-deadline, within reach of first place, with everything to play for. You were playing as recently as 10 days ago for the 2 seed.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're holding on for dear life to the 5.
Yeah.
Now, baseball is a sport with 29 other professional teams. They're trying to win too. I do understand it. But we're watching these games. I'm watching some of the individual players. And whatever is going on with Manny Machado, for example, is a massive problem.
Yeah.
Now, some of it is explainable because in sports, it can happen.
Slumps happen.
Baseball specifically.
100%.
Tony Gwynn had stretches where he did not play well, I'm sure.
Not like this, though.
But I know, but you get my point.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was a stretch in Tony Gwynn's career.
We hit 200.
Right, over a 10-game period. I mean, someone tell me the lowest of depths for Tony at some point in the major leagues. But you get the point. You can almost try too hard. But what we're watching right now with Manny, and then as an extension with other players and just with the team. I mean, yesterday is a perfect example, Jim. They score 1 run. They're doing nothing situationally. They're 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Give me a break.
Yeah.
I can't explain it away to just, you know what? Their top 4 haven't hit, and they're trying really, really, really hard, and it's not working. I think it goes beyond that, is my point.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just a little beyond that.
But then the beyond that, I don't know how to define that.
I agree with that.
I don't know the reasoning for that.
But isn't there evidence now in the IHOP meeting?
The IHOP meeting.
Isn't there evidence in the Mickey Mouse pancakes?
Well, the thing is,
sausage links.
Great. Now I want pancakes. Like I desperately need Mickey Mouse pancakes now.
But we went from no weak links to sausage links, and it's become a problem in 1 month. Okay,
that's the line of the year right there.
I mean, am I wrong?
No, you're not.
A little less sausage, a little more hitting with a guy in 3rd and 1 out.
Yeah, no more sausage, guys. Cut down on the sausage intake. All right. Let's figure out how we can hit with runners in scoring position first, because the 0 for 8 last night doesn't help the cause. Neither does sausage, apparently.
But remember Shildt postgame last night? We don't have the audio right now, but we can grab some of it. Like Shilt's going down this path of like,
I'll get to the offense.
We're not. Oh yeah. He almost scolded them before refraining, and then secondly, he's like, we aren't making adjustments. That is very damning to say about your team. This veteran-laden, post-trade deadline experienced group that was vying for a division 10 days ago isn't making in-game adjustments.
Yeah, I think with 16 games remaining, right?
16 games.
I'm worried. I'll say it. I'm worried. I'm worried for this team because it's easy to say, just go sweep the Rockies.
Right. Just go 14-2.
Now, they actually might end up sweeping the Rockies. Of course
they could.
Because the Rockies are one of the worst teams in the history of baseball. But it's way easier said than done to do what you want this team to do for this season. And, after that 14-3 stretch, they fell off a cliff. They had some nice moments in there. They had a 5-game winning streak, and then they just collapsed to the extent of all the opportunities that were in front of them. They didn't capitalize on any of them. Like, how many opportunities have this team had in the last 2.5, 3 weeks to get over the Dodgers in the division? I would say 4 or 5, maybe more. And every single one of them, they didn't capitalize on.
They're 5-11 in their last 16 games.
Yeah, it's not good.
If they were 8-8, which isn't great, they'd be tied for first place. Now, they wouldn't have the tiebreaker still. But if they were 8-8, that's not good. That's fine.
And then you put that pressure on the Dodgers that right now the Dodgers are feeling like,
I don't think they're feeling it right now.
We're good.
That can change. They have a challenging schedule, Giants and Phillies coming up. But I think last night's game is an indication that something is awry. And I disagree with the sentiment that post Mickey Mouse pancakes, everything's fixed.
Because clearly it's not.
Because they're still going 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. They can do nothing against elite pitching. That played out again yesterday. And Andrew Abbott had not been good recently and shoved.
Have you seen his career numbers against the Padres?
Sub-1 ERA.
Very good.
4 starts. But I am willing to say something is awry. Not a rise.
A rise?
Something is off, and it goes beyond the sausage links and the Mickey Mouse pancakes. All right, we're going to react to that. I'd love to hear from Padres fans. 877-767-4760. Again, 877-767-4760. By the way, don't fool yourself. You'll hear from Michael King directly what the goal is for the team.
Oh, yeah, it's been set.
Yeah, this isn't like, hey, let's just get in. We'll hear from Michael King in terms of the goal. And then how much of this is on Mike Shildt? You look at a game like last night where there's some failed strategy managerially.
We're going to get into it.
We'll get into that coming up as well. Mark Ziegler is going to talk some Aztec hoops at 4 p.m. Chris Hodgej on a busy week 2 in the NFL at 4:30 and free picks for our listeners. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. We have free picks coming up for you. NFL and college football with Chris Hodge from Taking Vegas at 4:30. Mark Ziegler on the Aztecs and their expectations heading into the year, their schedule. He'll join us coming up at 4 p.m. We're talking about the Padres and their swoon here. They're 5-11 in their last 16 games. They have 16 games to play. Who knows what they would need to do, Jim, to potentially still win this division? I mean, a lot, right? To put it lightly, they'd have to do a lot to potentially win this division. There's no guarantee they could win the division by like truly winning out. It's not a guarantee.
It's not, because the Dodgers would only have to go of 16 games, go 13-3.
Now it's very unlikely either of those things happen. The Padres aren't going 16-0 and the Dodgers aren't going 13-3, but you get the point.
Yeah.
You know, you could go 13-3 right here. Dodgers go 10-6. They win the division.
Yeah.
And that's if you go 13-3. But let's start by hearing from Michael King. This was actually before his start 2 days ago. He spoke with the media. This is about a minute of a back and forth with a good friend of ours, Darnay Trout, okay, who was in the scrum. Darnay asked these questions. Listen to what Michael King says the goals are for the year.
Have you been able to find any sort of positivity or silver lining through this experience?
I said it during when I had my nerve stuff, like being able to be with my daughter and wife was nice. I wouldn't say that I've experienced any more of that during the knee. Rehab's probably longer days out here. I appreciate the coaching staff and the training staff so much, because they're here longer than we are. And if you ask my wife, I'm here way too much. So I think that it's definitely been a grind. Silver linings, maybe I'm pretty fresh going into October, where most everybody else is grinding. So it's all about winning games now. So.
How much of a potential reward is that, knowing what could be awaiting you and the opportunity at the end of what's been a difficult year?
Yeah, it's what we play for, you know. So that reward is it's all we're here for. So whether it was a fully healthy season or not, if we don't win the World Series, it's a successful season.
It's not a successful season. If you miss that.
Yeah, well, that's a standard that has been set for this franchise for the last couple of years now. That's what the standard is for this show. Not to say that
to what? This show?
For them.
For them.
To hold them to that standard.
What's the standard for the show? Oh, I got you. For the team.
We don't have a standard on the show.
I was going to say, what's our
But
standard?
for the team is the standard we set, which was, hey, you made all these moves, you signed all these players, you spent all this money.
Go win a World Series.
Exactly.
Is that much? I mean, it
is a lot to ask for.
But isn't that what you should be asking for when you're 0-4 since 1969?
Yes. You should be aiming for the moon here. You should be not accepting or be satisfied with anything less. If they made it to the divisional round again and they lose in 5 games again, are you going to be happy with that? I'm talking like to the fan and the listener out there. Are you going to be happy with that? Or are you going to be frustrated that they didn't win a World Series? Now, if they made the World Series for the first time since 98 and they lost,
it's a different conversation.
There will be a sense of pride there and a sense of like accomplishment, but there also will be a huge
what if?
Yeah, exactly. A black hole, a what if, they didn't win it all. When your team gets to the championship in professional sports and they don't win, man, that's brutal, because you never know when they're going to return.
But isn't there a little bit what Michael King just said about, if we don't win a World Series, it's not a successful season? But they're over at Cracker Barrel picking up the biscuits on Saturday morning, right? Playing, that peg game at Cracker Barrel. You ever play that, Brent? You've ever been over there?
My grandma used to have that.
Like have you ever played the peg game?
I have a confession to make.
You've never been to a Cracker Barrel?
Correct.
Okay. Well, I've never seen a movie, so we're even.
Right. That is true.
But you get the point. Like Saturday, they're hanging out at IHOP talking about, hey, can we get this thing together? And Michael King's like, we're trying to win a World Series. There's a large gap between, hey, team, figure this out. Like, we got to get our house in order and winning a World Series.
Right.
The gap there is wide.
And they have checks notes, 16 games to figure that out before the postseason starts.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's my issue. That, is now the time we're getting the sausage links and saying, let's just hang out at these nice tables and figure this thing out. It should already be figured out, dude. You're post-deadline. You're playing for first place. You haven't won a division in 20 years.
I do think a lot of the frustrations stem from the offense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think these guys are trying so hard. They have a standard set for themselves personally that they're just not meeting. And with failure comes frustration. And when you don't meet those standards that you have set for yourself, you're going to get frustrated with yourself. And what happens when everyone's frustrated? It's a pretty miserable place to be inside that clubhouse.
Right.
Not saying it's a miserable clubhouse. I'm just saying there are probably times
if it's not going well, it makes
that
it
there's a lot of frustration in that clubhouse with guys that expect more of themselves.
Of course.
And this is not a situation where it's only been happening for a month and a half. It's been happening for the whole year. The team is one of the worst offenses in baseball this season from every metric standpoint. It's not just the power. The power numbers are down.
Right.
Everything is down across the board. Last year, one of the best offenses in baseball. Vibes could not have been higher. And then they choked. But we weren't dealing with any of this stuff. Like talking about this stuff is what I mean.
No, of course not. Look at their finish, 43-19.
Yeah.
All the breakfasts were very enjoyable.
Oh, they were great.
And it was
everybody was having Mickey Mouse pancakes and enjoying it.
And they didn't have to force themselves to get together for pancakes. Is this an example of the meme where there's like that worker outside just like smoking and the pitchers are like, man, like
tired? The tired meme?
Yeah, like, dude, we've been pitching our tails off. I don't even know what I can say.
You can say ass.
I can say that?
Yeah.
Okay. We've been pitching our asses off.
There you go.
Right? Just that part.
Yeah.
And like, guys, like Nick Pivetta just went 7 scoreless innings at home.
Right.
What are you asking for out of him? 8?
Well,
does he need to go 8 innings?
You need him to score runs for the team, but he can't.
And that goes back to the problems that are playing out in front of our eyes with them managing the in-game decision-making.
Yeah.
From Mike Shildt right now.
I want to spend our next segment just talking about just last night specifically.
Yeah.
You know, we could talk about what he's done or not done with the lineup and everything else. But just last night specifically, I think illustrated Mike Shildt is second guessing himself potentially. And there are some moves and some calls that he is making that just flat out don't make any sense.
All right, so we'll react to that on the other side. Again, Mark Ziegler from the UT will join us at 4. We have, of course, Chris Hodge from Taking Vegas with free picks, NFL picks, college picks for our listeners coming up at 4:30. We'll get into tonight's showdown in the National Football League as well between the Commanders and the Packers. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, this update's brought to you by Bill Howe Plumbing. Padres last night losing to the Reds 2-1. They are now 3 games back of the Dodgers in the National League West. They start a 4-game series with the Colorado Rockies tonight at Petco Park. And week 2 of the NFL season gets underway tonight in Green Bay. A huge Thursday night matchup, Packers and Commanders. 5:15 kickoff time at Lambeau Field. Traffic may be slow, but your drains don't have to be. The experts at Bill Howe have been helping San Diego with their plumbing needs for 45 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE because we know how. License number 488413.
All right, make sure to download the all-new iHeartRadio app and put Jon Jim and San Diego Sports 760 in your presets. You can listen live to the show each and every weekday. You can listen back to every hour and interview as well. Chris Hodge from Taking Vegas has free picks for us at 4:30. Mark Ziegler will join us coming up at 4 p.m. All right, to bunt or not to bunt? That has been the question of the Padres season.
In Mike Shildt head, it's to bunt.
Exactly, and it played out once again yesterday, and it failed miserably, honestly, yesterday, and a Padres 2-1 loss to the Reds.
I think this team right now has the complete wrong mindset at the plate because Mike Shildt saw what this team was turning into, which was a team that did not hit for much power, saw that guys are having some down years, and has reverted to making this team a station-to-station team, bunting as much as possible, sack bunts, moving guys over, sack flies, fun, the small ball approach.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if we're not going to hit home runs, let's be the best small ball team in baseball. And I don't have clarity on exactly what happened in the 4th inning yesterday, but just to take you back to the 4th inning, if you forget, Gavin Sheets leads the inning off with a walk. Ramon Laureano then singles. You got 2 on, no out in a scoreless game in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Okay, scoreless game.
Let me ask you this question. At this moment in time, who would you say is one of the Padres' hottest hitters on the team?
The names would be like Ramon Laureano, Gavin Sheets, Jackson Merrill.
Bingo. Who's at the plate? Jackson Merrill with 2 on,
nobody out.
Nobody out. Now, I will say on the other side, there's a tough lefty on the mound. Merrill's first at bat against Abbott probably didn't look great, but still, regardless, Jackson Merrill has proven that he can hit lefties in this league. He is not a situational hitter. He's an everyday player.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're going to be facing guys like Abbott in the postseason in this situation.
Sure.
So what does Jackson Merrill do? First pitch, squares to bunt. Excuse me? Huh? He takes it. 0-1. Now, here's where the problem lies. The defense, he's laying down a sack bunt. What happens? You bring in the first baseman, you play it, so you try to get the force out at third to get the lead runner. And you also have the third baseman playing on the grass. So the defense is now prepared for the bunt.
Right.
You're not catching them off guard. 0-1 pitch, lays down a bunt again. It goes right to the first baseman, hit hard enough to go right to third base to get the lead runner.
Mm-hmm.
That thought process is so ass backwards, I don't even know where to start. What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's fair. And I want to say, and I wish we had the audio of Shildt right now from it, because Shildt did, I think, specifically comment on this postgame, because you and I both watched it, but I'm not entirely sure of what he said, because he mentioned the fact that Merrill had a tough at bat his first time against Andrew Abbott, or made like an uncomfortable at bat, I think was the term that he used.
He struck out on 3 pitches in his first at bat.
So with that knowledge in place, you may say, well, let's make a productive out.
I don't care.
No, I understand. And it's easy now in hindsight. Listen, if he lays the bunt down and the runners advance, even with infielders in, bunts oftentimes are still successful, right? If he bunts to third, for example, then the runners likely move up. It's hard to bunt to third and then have it out at third on the same play. I mean, it can happen. But the point is, it's easy to say because they got the lead runner. I'm with you. I'm not bunting there. I don't think it's crazy. Lefty on lefty, struck out on 3 pitches, uncomfortable at bat. to consider it. But I get what you're saying. You're saying it's soft, it's cautious. You're playing not to lose. You're not playing to win.
Here's a number that will tell you exactly why it was a dumb decision. The Padres win probability with that bunt dropped 5.9%.
Well, that's because the runners didn't advance.
But still, laying down that bunt, I guarantee you it wouldn't have gone up.
Well, I don't know about that. If it was second and third, one out is different than first and second.
True.
See what I'm saying?
Still, the thought process of it, I don't like, because now you're putting it into these guys' heads like hey, this is going to lay down a bunt.
I agree with what you're saying. I don't know if we would have. There's another world where he lays it down successful. There is. And maybe they don't come through there. And we're saying the exact same thing, or they do. I agree with what you're saying. Because
you took the bat out of one of your best players' hands right now, a guy who's hot for you.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I do agree that they've been overly cautious trying to scratch across a run or move runners. They're giving up too many outs to attempt to move runners. They're trying to sit on small leads. It's happened again yesterday. They led 1-0.
It's not working.
And it's not working. I agree with that. And then you're in the ninth inning, and they have a leadoff runner at second base. And I'm not for bunting Ramon Laureano either. And they didn't, by the way. And guess what? He didn't move the runner. They're kind of damned right now. They're not pulling the right strings. I'm with you. I think they're almost playing not to lose. They're playing so cautiously. They're playing for that small margin where I'm like, guys, you're playing the Reds. Play for a 2 or 3 run inning. Not everything has to be about every base.
It's so weird coming from Mike Shildt, who has preached so much aggressiveness.
Right.
And at the beginning of the year, what was put on a T-shirt because of you.
Yes. I don't know about that, but yeah.
Well, still, I mean, it was we don't feel pressure, we apply it.
Right. The Jack Zamero quote.
They're not applying pressure by doing what they're doing. And their philosophy on offense right now at the plate to, in the 4th inning, lay down sacrifice bunts. And this isn't a first time this has happened recently.
Not at all.
As recently as I think it was last week, or it was recent. I know that. I forget the exact day. You had Luis Ariz laying down a sack bunt in like the first inning.
Yeah, they have done that. They've done it in like Colorado. Huh? They bunted in Colorado this past weekend.
It's maddening to watch. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing that backfired on Shildt was late in this game. He's been preaching defense and I got to have my best defensive lineup out there and defense matters. It does. You're right, Mike. But here's where you backfired on you. When you had a 1-0 lead in the 8th inning, you are trying to hold that 1 run like it's life and death. Like I got to hold that 1 run lead.
Mm-hmm.
So you put in Mason McCoy defensively at short. You take out Ryan O'Hearn at first base. You move Luis Ariz to first, and you move Jake back to second. Analytics probably show that, actually they do. Ryan O'Hearn's a better defensive first baseman than Luis Ariz. And you take O'Hearn out of the game. Now, okay, with the bullpen issue and having Kyle Hart in the game, that's another thing we can talk about, but you end up giving up 2 runs there. You get to the bottom of the 9th inning, and you have a runner at third base with 2 outs. Oh, what position in the lineup comes up? Ryan O'Hearn's. You just took him out for Mason McCoy to replace there. You're not having Mason McCoy hit, so who do you have left on your bench to hit? Bryce Johnson.
And he strikes out.
And you're screwed.
That, and the irony isn't lost on me that the Reds' comeback started with a bunt from their leadoff man.
Right.
Friedel.
Taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, it's like anything that can go wrong will go wrong. The Murphy's Law, and that is playing out right now. And if there's this belief, well, at least they get the Rockies now. Everything's going to get right. But we said that when they played the Twins.
Yeah.
And we said that when they played the Orioles, and we said it when they went to Colorado and they were shut out in game 1 of that series. So they're now trying to play to this inside straight where it's like, just put it all together. 16 games left. You're playing bad teams like the Rockies and the White Sox. Everything is still in front of them. Let's just rattle off 14 wins in our last 16. But I don't think right now it's like rattle off 14 wins. How about
win a series
better than going 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position and score more than 1 run at home?
That too. They're 1-6 in the last 7 home games.
Is that right?
Yeah, because they got swept by the Orioles. And then they lost
2 of 3 would be 1-5. Did they lose the game before the Orioles series at home?
Dodger game.
Wow. So 1-6 in the last 7 home games. And by the way, the one win, they trailed 3-0 and won 4-3 in 10 innings.
Yeah.
A couple of days ago.
And then final point on this too, because we said that the Jason Adam injury, even though their bullpen is still good, it's going to come back to hurt you at some point this season. Last night was the first, I feel like, real we miss Jason Adam game. Because you didn't have Mason Miller available, you didn't have Estrada available, and you didn't have Suarez available from all, things that were presented last night, because those 3 guys didn't get up in the bullpen at all. It was Kyle Hart, Ron Marinaccio, it was Adrian Morahone, Matsui.
I mean, it was basically, can you get it to Morahone with 4 outs or less?
Yeah, and
that's what they were trying to do.
They did, but they also gave it to Morahone with trouble on the base paths. They didn't give him a clean slate.
They didn't. You're 100% right. And Hart was fine. He gave up a bunt hit, looking back on it.
Right.
And it was actually Morahone that allowed the 2 singles, and neither of them were,
It's not singles. It's not like, oh, this is all Kyle Hart's fault, because it's not. He pitched fine.
Yep.
But the likelihood of you taking Adam out of an inning to go to Morahone
is unlikely.
Exactly, because they trusted Jason Adam to finish off innings, to get out of trouble if he got in trouble.
Sure.
And I felt like last night was the first, we missed Jason Adam moment.
Yeah. I think you're 100% right. I completely agree with that. All right, we will put a bow on this first hour of Padres conversation talking about Manny Machado, who is, of course, once again in the lineup tonight against the Colorado Rockies. Is that benefiting the team or not?
A lineup
is out, and Manny Machado is in it. Plus, at 4 p.m., Mark Ziegler will join the show from the UT. We'll talk about the Aztecs and their upcoming 2025-26 schedule that was released this week. And Chris Hodge from Taking Vegas will have some free picks for our listeners. Of course, we'll get into Commanders and Packers Thursday Night Football as well. Stay with us, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Again, Mark Ziegler will join us at 4. Coming up at 4:30, we'll be joined by Chris Hodge from Taking Vegas. We do have giveaways for you today as well, including a $50 gift card to Ortega's. So we will we'll have a winner of that coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. I mentioned the word irony a minute ago about, it's interesting, the irony of the Reds comeback, it started with a bunt, right? Is there any irony in this whole Manny the other day saying it's not about my performance, it's about the team winning? Yet he's going out there each and every day, which is impacting the team's performance.
Yes.
So he's not helping them for weeks on end now.
Yeah, the one thing I think he understands, like, hey, I got to be good. I got to be better. And if I'm better, then the odds of us being better the chances go up. It just goes back to, like, I don't know. Sometimes when Manny speaks, kind of just, it's like, all right, that's Manny just being Manny.
Did you realize, by the way, this as an aside, that Sal Stewart stayed at his house the last 3 days?
But they watched that home run off Michael King like about 1,000 times.
Just hit and replay on
like,
that
dude, look at King. What a loser.
Yeah, Kevin wrote that Sal Stewart was staying with the Machados this week while the Reds were in town.
That's great. I'm sure they had a lot of fun conversations about that home run.
Yeah, maybe they had breakfast.
Maybe they had pancakes.
With the team.
Maybe
the team breakfast was with Sal Stewart.
Yeah, this is my boy. Saturday. Michael King's like, bro, what?
But don't you agree that he's like, I got to be in there every day. It's crunch time. But he's like, and he also says, well, it's not about my play, which has been awful. It's about the team winning and losing. I'm like, well, yeah, but are you weighing them down right now by not taking a day off? Are you impacting this team's ability to win at the clip that is necessary?
If Manny doesn't get an off day in this series, then what I will say will be even more, I feel like, true. And what that is the organization, Mike Shildt, whoever else, they're just scared to make Manny sit for a day.
That's always been the case.
Exactly. Like, Manny runs that team. Mm-hmm. He runs that clubhouse. He runs that organization. What Manny says goes. He decides who goes in that clubhouse. He decides if you are going to get out of that clubhouse. He runs the whole operation. Like, we know that. If you don't think so, I'm telling you, Manny runs the ship there. So if you go tell Manny he's getting an off day and he tells you no, he's in the lineup.
What are they going to do?
There's nothing they can do.
Yeah, he'll literally write his name on the card.
The only time he's been on the IL with the Padres is because he had a broken hand.
And by the way, it took a day or two before they put him on.
Right.
There was the actual Father's Day foot injury as well. He went on. Remember that?
The injury where he twists his ankle in Colorado?
Yeah, he went on the IL, right?
No.
He didn't then?
In Colorado?
Yeah.
No, he did not.
That's interesting. I thought he did. He only went on one time.
Yeah.
And
and it was only because they said that, dude, you broke your hand. Like, you got to go on the IL. And they convinced him to go on the IL. So Manny makes his own rules. No one can tell Manny to go sit. But I do find it interesting that Manny is, through the media, kind of asking for an off day. So it's a little weird how he's telling Kevin or telling whoever in that clubhouse, I need a day off. I'm dead tired. Yet the organization won't grant him that because why?
Yeah, but he's also saying, and you read between the lines, and I agree with what you said earlier this week. He's also saying it's too late to take an off day.
That too. He did mention
said,
that. Yeah.
I mean, he said it. I'm not taking an off day until we clinch something.
Right. But
he said that. But you're right. I feel like reading between the lines, he's basically saying, I'm pleading for a day here. Mm-hmm. Because he's obviously on. I mean, how could he be on anything other than fumes? His play would reflect him being on fumes. In fact, if he's not on fumes, then I have more concerns.
Exactly. Do you think there is some pushback or some rolling of the eyes from Manny to Mike Shildt that Shildt didn't give Manny an off day sooner? Or at least they didn't discuss maybe an off day sooner?
I don't, because I think to Manny it's a badge of honor to play. And I think in 2026, they basically have to come up with a plan before the season and be like, these are your 6 off days.
Well, then why is
this organizational?
But then why is he pleading for an off day through the media?
But he's not. I mean, you could say that, but you're reading.
I know
between lines. There's no way Manny Machado wishes Mike Shildt would have given him an off day. What Manny Machado was saying, I should have taken an off day. He
You're
doesn't
right,
see
you're
Mike
right.
Shildt as the giver of
You're
off
right.
days.
You're right, because Manny makes up
the
Manny
rules.
makes up the rules, and you're right. Manny probably is upset with himself that he didn't go tell Shildt,
Yeah.
I'm having an off day.
Yeah, he doesn't even tell him. He's like, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out.
right.
You know, like, and he probably should have. And now you have a night against Colorado where he wants to get in there, which I'm fine with. Maybe it's Sunday. They're off Monday.
If it's not Sunday, it's going to be kind of
Monday.
weird, right?
Depending on where they potentially are in these standings. I mean,
Yeah.
if they don't win the next 3 days, can you afford, quote unquote, to give them the off day?
And they're going to need to play well this series.
Yep.
I know that 3 of 4 would be really good, but maybe it won't be good enough.
Well, I don't know if 3 of 4 would be really good. 4 of 4 would be really good. 3 of 4 is mandatory because anything less than 3 out of 4 is an abject failure.
Correct. Yes, you're right. Winning 4 straight would be great.
Really good.
And really good. Taking 3 of 4. It's like, you lost a game against the Rockies at home. Splitting the series, that's awful. Losing the series, disaster. Sweep, fire everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I just wonder if it's masking though. Like, are we going to talk about this, over the weekend and wrap up shows and Jon and Jim be like, man, they came out and they won 5-2. They're back. I mean, are they? They're playing the Rockies. So
I thought they were
they're
back
damned,
after Monday.
They're damned either way.
Yeah.
If they lose, it's like, oh my gosh, they're losing to the Rockies. If they win, I'm going to say, well, you got to prove it to me.
You have to win.
You're
supposed to beat the Rockies at home. You can't lose to the Rockies at home. The guy on the mound tonight for the Rockies has like a 13 ERA.
Yeah, right-handed pitcher. The lineup, by the way, Tatis, who is heating up, Arise, Machado, Sheets, Laureano, Merrill, O'Hearn, Cronenworth, Fermin for Randy Vasquez.
So this is going the lineup going forward.
This is the go for it. Hopefully their best offensive lineup.
Yeah.
Against right-handed pitching.
Right. Everything Mike Shildt has said about defense, throw that out the window. Now, I do believe that if they have a lead late, it's close. He's going right back to the defensive substitutions. Guarantee it.
I think you're right. And he did that as recently as, to your point, last night.
If it's a close game, he's going to think to himself, I got to make defensive substitutions.
Right. By the way, update on Xander Bogaerts' left foot fracture. Took ground balls that were rolled to him today. He's going to hit in the cage today. Says he's feeling, quote unquote, really good, but getting used to an insert he must wear in his shoe.
Okay.
Shout out Good Feet Store. I don't know if they have anything to do with it.
I don't know either.
But all right. So Xander Bogaerts is doing baseball activities for the Padres. We'll switch gears to the NFL on the other side. There is a massive game tonight in the National Football League at Lambeau Field where the Washington football team in any iteration has not won in 40 years. You'd have to go all the way back to 1984. Can the Commanders win on the road at Lambeau with this massive quarterback battle tonight? Jordan Love and Jaden Daniels, plus the impact of Brock Purdy being out 2 to 5 weeks for the Niners. We're going to hear from John Rothstein coming up in the 3:00 hour about San Diego State's basketball chances. Mark Ziegler will join us at 4. Chris Hodge from Taking Vegas will join us at 4:30. So we're just underway, getting you ready for the NFL tonight, for Major League Baseball tonight downtown between the Padres and the Rockies. Hour 2 of Jon and Jim on San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app is next.
All right, this update's brought to you by Staples Stores. Padres and Rockies start a 4-game series tonight at Petco Park. 6:40 first pitch. Randy Vasquez on the mound tonight for the Padres. Padres are now 3 games back of the Dodgers in the National League West. They are 4 games back of the Cubs for the 4 seed in the wild card race. And tonight, the huge matchup in the NFL as Week 2 gets underway. Packers and Commanders live from Lambeau Field, 5:15 kickoff time there in Green Bay. I know everyone's looking to save this summer. Well, at Staples, your back-to-school budget is saved by the button, the easy button. I'm talking Staples as low as 25 cents. I might have to go check out a Staples store now, John. Pencil that in. Staples, that was easy.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of Jon and Jim. Mark Ziegler from the UT will join us in 1 hour. And Chris Hodge, Sports Investors Daily, sponsored by TakingVegas.com. Free picks for our listeners each and every Thursday at 4:30. Well, he will join us coming up at 4:30. Opinions on tonight and this weekend in the NFL. Speaking of the National Football League, and of course, we'll get back to the Padres. Tonight is what I'm going to refer to as like the Week 2 game of the century on Amazon Prime. For a Thursday night game, it doesn't get a lot better than this for Thursday night. Commanders, Packers at Lambeau. Again, Washington has not won a game at Lambeau since 1984.
You must have forgot about Panthers Cardinals this upcoming weekend.
I did forget. You're right. Disregard what I said. But in terms of a Thursday night game this early in the year, this is truly a very impactful game. Washington trying to start 2-0. Same thing with Green Bay. The Parsons trade that played out a couple of weeks ago. Jaden Daniels off last year. I mean, storylines everywhere, Jim. Are these front runners potentially in the NFC? And they meet tonight on Thursday Night Football at 5:15, like you just said.
So Week 2, there's some pretty good matchups. You got tonight, Packers, Commanders. You're right. I think it's one of the better Thursday night games in recent memory. You know, is this the first year they've started Thursday Night Football this early in the season, like Week 2?
No, I think they've had it in recent years.
There's actually Thursday Night Football for the entire season because the season kicked off on Thursday.
The Amazon deal gave them X amount of games.
Okay.
Right? When they went to Amazon, it gave them the 15 or 16 game.
Well, with that being said, it's still one of the better matchups that you could think of. A team that went to the NFC title game last year, and the Commanders have a superstar quarterback in Jaden Daniels. They, retooled this offseason. They traded for Deebo Samuel, and they're a really good team. And then you look at the Packers and the move they made for Micah Parsons, completely just shaking the NFL landscape here. Absolutely. It's one of the better matchups of the season to start. But there are also some other games this weekend that are kind of must watch. Who was in the Super Bowl last year, John?
I think it was it Saints Niners or was it Eagles Chiefs?
It was Eagles Chiefs.
That's right, Eagles Chiefs, and they meet this weekend. So do the Saints and the Niners.
But
Saints and Niners couldn't have met in the Super Bowl.
No,
but they could have met in the NFC title game.
Right. You think Spencer Rattler, Mac Jones, that's going to be a must-watch matchup?
Could be a preview of what we're going to see this January.
Look, I'll watch every second of that, that game.
As you should.
And torture myself.
Yeah.
But Chiefs Eagles.
Great game.
In Kansas
Please don't
City.
be Mac Jones. Please don't be Mac Jones.
I feel like that's going to be I'm going to hear that every time I mention
until Brock's back.
Mac Jones' name. Exactly. Raiders Chargers next Monday night. You can listen to that game right here on San Diego Sports 760.
What time's that start? 2:15?
No, I wish. It starts at 7 p.m.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, because it's a doubleheader next Monday.
Who came up with the double headers?
The NFL.
Bad idea. 10 o'clock Eastern games are not good for the NFL. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a decent game. The two games, tell me I'm wrong. I think if you ask
You're right.
most NFL fans, most just NFL fans, Eagles Chiefs, they met in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
40-22. The thing was a landslide.
Yeah.
And then obviously tonight, because I think there's an intrigue about Washington. Was it a fluke or is it sustainable?
Yeah.
They upset the Lions. Okay, that's what they did. They upset the Lions. They get to the NFC title game. That doesn't mean there's some coronation for them to play in every single NFC title game moving forward. But we'll see. Maybe there's some staying power there. And then the curiosity with Green Bay, like, does Micah Parsons really mean they go to the top of the heap just like that? They've got a great quarterback. They're coming off a very good year. how much further can they advance here in 2025? So I just think it's like an early season preview, both of those games, of potentially what's to come in January in some form or fashion.
And as Micah Parsons gets integrated into that defense more and more, and he has time to figure out his role and schemes, and it's pretty easy for a pass rusher, just see quarterback, go get the quarterback, right? But he didn't really have a training camp because he sat out, so he's still getting into game shape, and they got to make sure that he's healthy enough to play a majority of the snaps. But I think once he is in there, every single down for the Packers on defense, and if they stay healthy, I think the Packers are one of the better teams, not just in the NFC, but in football, potentially.
Here's my question. When you look at like the quarterbacks here, is the star power, Jordan Love, star, but I feel like Jaden Daniels, correct me if I'm wrong, do you feel like Jaden Daniels' star power approaches anyone outside of Mahomes, Allen, Jackson?
But what do you mean?
Star power.
No. Star power?
Star power.
Jaden Daniels, he's a star, but I don't feel like he's this transcendent star.
You don't think he's up there among NFL quarterbacks? I said below. No, not Mahomes, not Josh Allen, not Lamar Jackson. Is he not in the conversation right now? Do it all. If I'm starting a franchise, top 5 guy I'm going with?
Well, let's see here. Top 5 guys I would take over Jaden Daniels. I would go in no particular order. Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar.
It's hard to find 5 players you're starting a franchise with before Jaden Daniels. It's very hard.
Well, those are 4. So
exactly.
Yeah, maybe. If you want to say like
and
Jaden
Burrow,
Daniels or Justin Herbert or
but
Jalen Hurts.
But aren't you? But I'm saying, can't we say Jaden Daniels is in that conversation?
Yeah, I think he's in like this. Like if the 4 quarterbacks I named, Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar, if they're the top tier, yeah, I think Jaden Daniels is in the tier below that.
I just wonder how far away he is from being in the next tier. I just feel I'm super high on Jaden Daniels.
I'm high on Jaden Daniels too.
The Commanders, dude,
but
they don't win.
I know, I get it. But like to be put in that top category, 1, you got to get to a Super Bowl, or 2, you got to win an MVP. Because that's what those 4 quarterbacks I named have.
That's fair. That's fair. But that is fair. Lamar Jackson, sure, his regular season success goes beyond Jaden Daniels. Daniels only played 1 year. But then again, how many AFC title games has Lamar Jackson played in?
Good question. But how many MVPs?
But you get my point. I'm saying Jaden in year 1 did work. And I asked earlier, is there staying power? Can he do it again? Is it going to be replicatable easily or not? Does
played
he
in one AFC
back?
title game? That was 2 years ago.
Okay. Well, he's been in the NFL for 8 or 9 years or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And Jaden, like that, turned to a downtrodden franchise. You have to remember that as well. Baltimore's not a downtrodden franchise. Yeah. Kansas City wasn't with Andy Reid.
I think if Jaden Daniels continues on the trajectory of what he accomplished last year into this year.
Okay.
I'm not saying take the Commanders back to the NFC title game, but
even win a playoff game, divisional round.
If they win the division, which it'll be tough. That's a tough division.
Yep.
If they get in as a division winner or even like the top wild card team, they win a playoff game, win the wild card round or gets the divisional round, or hell, gets the NFC title game again, which would be crazy.
Yeah.
Then he's up there for sure.
Okay, so the other story that we've been following, or you've been following locally, is that they now put a timeline on Brock Purdy, which is 2 to 5 weeks. You already know, as we've talked about, he's out for the Saints game. Now, the Saints are the Saints.
Oh, the season, you said?
He's out for the Saints game.
Yeah, okay.
But it could be as many as 3 games beyond the Saints. It could be, or maybe it's going to be less than 3 or 4 games. Like you said, regardless of who they start at quarterback, they have to be able to beat the Saints, right? That doesn't really have to do with Brock Purdy. It has more to do with the Niners.
You can't lose to Spencer Rattler.
Right. So they're without him, but it's a game they're expected to win. So in actuality, maybe it's just a game or 2 beyond the Saints game that they're expected to win, regardless of Brock Purdy being out. So can it be overcome?
Am I a negative fan? Of course I am.
Fletch says you're very
Fletch
negative.
says he can't stand listening to me. Here's the thing, and I'll be like objective on this, right? Mac Jones.
Mac Jones?
Please don't be Mac Jones. Please don't be Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
You could have worse backups than Mac Jones. And it's the start of the year. It's not the end of the year.
Right.
It's not like they've played through the entire season. Then Brock Purdy gets hurt in week 14. And he's going to be out 2 to 5 weeks.
Right.
They can overcome if he misses, say he misses 4 games, they go 1-3. Now they're 2-3 as a team overall. They can overcome that with their schedule.
Right. Because they've got this soft schedule. Yeah.
And same thing with Kittle. Kittle's going to miss probably about 4 or 5 weeks. If in the 4 or 5 games that he missed, they go, say they miss 5 games, they go 2-3.
Yeah.
And they're 3-3 as a team. They can overcome that.
That's a good point.
The one thing that they can't overcome is like season-ending injuries. They can't have that happen to them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, they can't. They can't afford it. They're not as deep as they've been in the past. But the one thing that I am confident in is the fact that they have a really good defensive coordinator in Robert Saleh. They are playing the Saints this weekend. And Chris McCaffrey is, knock on all the wood around you possible, is going to be playing.
I mean, it's not like, tell me I'm wrong, and you've talked about their schedule all offseason. It's not like at Saints, home Cardinals, home Jags is the NFL's toughest slate.
It's not
in the history of the league.
No, it's not.
Okay. And then now it's at Rams.
But I don't expect them to go 3-0 in that 3-game stretch.
But
like I was expecting them to go 3-0 if they were healthy.
But even 2-1, and you look up, and maybe you're healthier, and they're 3-1 overall.
That's why it makes their week 1 win over the Seahawks like massive.
Have you seen that Saints line, by the way, betting line?
What is it? -6?
What would you think? 6?
Yeah.
3.5.
Okay, it was 6. It went down to 3.5.
So, which makes sense. I mean, the quarterback injury is significant.
But just back to the Niners injuries, it is crazy how that team has so many injuries to them. Since Kyle Shanahan's been the head coach of the team, they have consistently been in the top 5 most injured teams in the NFL every single year, except for one season. That was 2 years ago when they made the Super Bowl. They were 29th in injuries. Like they're the 29th least injured team in the league, or
most injured.
Most injured team, yeah.
Fewest.
Yeah, it's one of the fewest injured team in the league. And guess what happened? They made the Super Bowl. And
now
they
put banners up when they're top 5 in injuries?
No, they don't.
They should.
But the point is, they are one of the most injured teams in the league every single year. It is so infuriating to watch as a fan of that team.
Not a good combination.
Oh God, it's so just, I get so angry at it.
It's only been a week.
And it's fine. Hurt. 1 week, it's okay.
And everyone's hurt.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to switch gears. We're going to hear from John Rothstein, the college basketball insider for CBS. His thoughts on San Diego State and their ceiling for 2025-26. We have the wrap coming up. Mark Ziegler from the UT at 4 p.m. on Aztecs men's basketball. And then Chris Hodges, free picks for our listeners coming up at 4:30. We'll hear from Mike Shildt this afternoon as well as he sits down with the media in front of Padres and Rockies. Stay with us, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, the iHeartRadio Music Festival is back. Live performances by Sammy Hagar, The Offspring, and more. Time out for one. Let me finish this read, then remind me seriously of something.
What?
Something we were just talking about.
Okay.
September 19th and 20th, T-Mobile in Vegas. 2 nights, 1 stage. Buy tickets at AXS.com. Get them now before they sell out. While the world is listening on iHeartRadio, you could be there. Get all the info at sportssd.com/festival.
All right. What is that?
See have you seen the Charlie Sheen documentary?
No.
Topical.
See parts of it.
No, I have not.
Oh, it's very good. That's what I was going to tell you.
What's it on?
It's on Charlie Sheen's
Netflix.
Life. Oh, what network?
Yeah, I know. I was like, where do I find this?
It's really interesting. It's Netflix, like Brent said. I have no clue how long it is or how many episodes. Kristen just put it on last night.
Okay.
And this was after the Padres ended at 8 and before the wrap-up show at 9:30. So I had like an hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we watched for an hour from like 8 to 9 or 8 to 9:15. Really fascinating. Now, you know me, I don't know anything about anyone that's like famous.
Correct.
Like a pop culture scenario.
Right.
Like I didn't know.
Who's Robert Downey Jr.?
An actor.
But like specifically, who does he portray? And like, who's the role that he's most known for?
Darth Vader.
Okay, exactly.
So I didn't know that his brother was
Could be wears a mask.
someone famous. His dad's Martin Sheen. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I know you knew that. But his brother's who?
Emilio Estevez.
Emilio Estevez. Anyway, it's fascinating. Fascinating.
That's definitely on my list.
Fascinating.
His real name is Carlos Estevez,
Yes.
which is why I always laugh
He
because the
beat
Phillies
Jordan
have a picture of that.
In 1984, he beat Jordan in a 2-on-1, him and his dad game.
Okay. Did you see the other day, since we're on the Netflix documentaries,
Right.
that dropping on October 1st on Netflix is a documentary called Who Killed the Montreal Expos?
Oh, fascinating. Are we going to say it's the strike? Is it baseball?
And they promoted Pedro Martinez, Felipe Alou,
Yeah.
Larry Walker,
I will watch that.
Vladimir Guerrero, all talking about it. October 21st on Netflix.
October 21st?
October 21st on Netflix. It features interviews from Hall of Famers, former employees, and diehard fans that lived through the end of the Expos.
Dude, 1994. I remember this vividly. You're like 2 years old.
Their team was stacked.
They're rolling to the postseason. They're on the verge of a World Series, right? I mean, this is a team that's going to win 100 games. The season stops. They're 74-40.
Yeah, that's
and
probably
that's
what killed the
Montreal
Montreal
Expos.
Yeah.
That, I mean, you can't recover a team that had this team was unbelievable.
Give me give me their lineup.
Darren Fletcher, Cliff Floyd, Mike Lansing, Will Cordero, Sean Barry, Moises Alou, Marquise Grissom, Larry Walker is their top 8 before their pitcher. Okay.
Now
and
give me
then
their pitching.
Their pitching in 94. Their rotation is Pedro, Ken Hill, Jeff Facero, Butch Henry, Kirk Reeder, John Wetland in the bullpen, Mel Rojas, Gil Heredia. I mean, this team was
The numbers, if you just look at the numbers, they're stacked.
they're ridiculous.
Right.
Ridiculous. I'll watch that.
Speaking of Netflix documentaries, since we're on the topic now,
Of course we are.
you watched the Netflix documentary on the cyberbullying or the text messages, right?
Yeah.
That is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
So that was
What was it called?
yeah, what was that called?
Unknown.
The unknown. Yeah, it's called. It's just
That's what it
unknown.
was. Unknown. Yeah.
And you know what's funny? I watched that.
It had like a subtitle,
It
but it's
scares the
unknown.
living daylights out of you, and I already forgot what happened.
The mother was cyberbullying her own child,
kid. Yeah.
sending her
Way to ruin it.
unknown number, the high school catfish.
Yeah. No, that was fascinating.
Dude, my face.
You were shocked. See, I wasn't shocked because Kristen told me before. She's like, yeah, it's
My
She
reaction
knew.
to when I found out, spoiler alert, sorry, but it's been
Yeah, you
out for a
kinda
while
ruined it.
now. My reaction to finding out who the texter was, like the anonymous
you-
texter,
your jaw drop.
I looked at Aaron. I said, no
No.
effing way.
I mean, can you imagine?
I can't. I cannot imagine that whole thing playing out how it did. It was insane.
So wait, among those three, the
Right.
catfish story, the Charlie Sheen kind of like through his eyes life I don't even know what it is.
Uh-huh.
His life story.
Yeah.
And then this Expos, Who Killed the Expos?
Yeah.
How would you rank like what you would need to see? If you could only watch one of those, now you've already seen one of them.
I have, yeah.
But like what would you watch first? If I gave you those 3 shows to watch.
I love like the genre of all three of those. They're all different.
I agree with that.
Like a biop, you have like some crazy story in a small town, and then you have like a sports story. Dude.
But they're all interesting. That's why I asked.
They're all interesting. I might go the unknown number catfish story.
That was fascinating.
I would go Expos 2, and I go Charlie Sheen 3.
Really? You're going to like the Charlie Sheen. Trust me. If I like it, you're going to like it. The way it's shot and filmed and presented is really, really unique.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay. I do want to hear from John Rothstein. We have this, Brett? So John Rothstein does like a weekly podcast. Listen, I love college basketball, but John Rothstein covers college basketball like every day for 365 days. I don't know how he does it. He does a weekly college basketball podcast in like May.
He's the type of person that like the entire internet could be talking about one thing, and he'll be like SMU versus Houston.
Yeah, Valparaiso scheduled a non-conference game with East Texas A&M.
Right. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, 100%. It's like that's like 1,000% accurate. So on his podcast today, he posed this about the Aztecs. How good can the Aztecs be in 2025-26?
I think you can make the case, given the landscape of other dynamics in college basketball. St. Mary's losing a couple of guys, obviously, Augustus Marciulionis and Jordan Ross. Memphis losing a lot. Gonzaga reshuffling its backcourt. I'm not saying San Diego State is going to 100% get this title, but in my opinion, it would not shock me if at the end of this season, San Diego State separates itself as the best non-power conference team in college basketball. Refurbished point guard play with Sean Newman. 3 potential Mountain West Player of the Year candidates in Miles Bird, Reese Waters, and Magoon Guaf. And again, a program that has an identity of defense and rebounding. And as somebody who has sat in San Diego State's practices multiple times at Viejas Arena, the number one thing that is always going to be stressed and focused on for the San Diego State Aztecs is going to be limiting the opponent to second shots and playing great defense. And I remember I was at a practice last year, and Brian Dutcher was working with his team, and he stopped practice, and he said, the only statistic where it's okay to be selfish in basketball is rebounding. And if San Diego State has more offense, thanks to better point guard play, thanks to Reese Waters coming back, San Diego State is going to win a lot of games.
Did you hear that, Jim?
Yeah, San Diego State is going to win a lot of games. Very high on the Aztecs.
Very high on the Aztecs.
Very high.
I mean, and you know, sometimes I hate when he did this distinction of, are they the best non-power program in the country? And he mentioned like Gonzaga and saying, are they the best non-power? Where I'm like, you can include them in the power conversation. They're going to play, hopefully, in the NCAA tournament. Therefore, they're playing who's ever in front of them. Right. I mean, why do we have to separate? I get it in college football because there's more of a defined line. There's like these many teams make the playoff and only one non-power. In basketball, it's like, who even cares? Like any team could be in a Final Four. Gonzaga, San Diego State.
Well, and in college basketball, they actually like the mid-majors and the non-power 5. You know,
Cinderella story.
You know, in college football, they like shun them and try to, you know, get rid of them and say that they don't belong there. And, you know, look at Boise State and Indiana. Well, Indiana's a power, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, 100%. No, I agree with you. All right, we're going to get to the wrap. Let's get to the wrap early because Mark Ziegler is going to join us coming up at 4 p.m. Chris Hodge, Sports Investors Daily, presented by TakingVegas.com. He'll join us coming up at 4:30 with free picks for our listeners. We're going to hear from Mike Shildt this afternoon as well. Padres and Rockies coming up. Game 1 of a 4-game series down at Petco Park. We'll get to the wrap on the other side. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, this update is brought to you by Dell Technologies. Padres and Rockies tonight at Petco Park. 6:40 first pitch starts a 4-game series. Padres are 3 games back of the Dodgers in the National League West now with 16 games to play. And tonight, Thursday Night Football kicks off week 2 in the NFL. Big matchup, Packers and Commanders, 5:15 kickoff time at Lambeau Field. The new Dell AI PC with Intel Core Ultra helps you fast forward through busy work like editing images, summarizing meetings notes, and responding to Jim's long emails. I don't have long emails. Leaving more time for you time. Get yours at dell.com/AIPC.
All right, we can get to the wrap in a handful of minutes, but there is this developing Padres tidbit that they're going to push their starters back a day and call up JP Sears, who they got in that Mason Miller trade. JP Sears is going to start for the Padres tomorrow. So Randy Vasquez tonight, JP Sears tomorrow, then Dylan Cease, Yu Darvish following an off day, Michael King. And the theory, and I'm sure Mike Shildt is speaking with the media right now, is to give starters a rest before the final push and the postseason. So
they better beat the Rockies then.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I get it. Maybe this is the series to do something like that, as in the belief would be you can beat the Rockies even with JP Sears starting. My only question there was, well, Michael King hasn't had any consistency or continuity, and he just returned Tuesday, and now you're not giving him, Jim, an extra day. You're giving him an extra 2 days.
Right.
He's going from Tuesday to Tuesday. At some point, if you are making a postseason run, you're going to need King pitching every 5th day, hopefully, somewhere in there.
All right, so let me just look at their schedule here. So, all right, so he's going to pitch on Tuesday.
Yep.
In New York. 2, 3, 4. Then Sunday in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4. And then presumably the last Friday home game of the regular season.
Which actually lines up.
So it's 3 starts, not 4.
Well, it's 4 with his start he made.
Well, I meant like, okay, yeah, you're right.
He was never going to make more than 4.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
well,
he was never going to make more than 4. Because even pushing him back 1 day,
yeah, you're right.
Can't make 5.
You're right.
But here's the thing: if he starts Friday, the final weekend of the regular season, he's in line to pitch game 2 of the postseason.
Correct.
Because you're off. He's not pitching Saturday or Sunday, the final 2 days of the season.
You're off.
Monday's an off day. Tuesday's game 1.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
And then boom, Wednesday is his 5th day.
Right.
So, I mean, what they're trying to do, assuming health and weather and all these factors, is line him up, I believe, based on this, to pitch him in the 2nd game of the wild card round. That's what I believe they're trying to do with this.
And then when does Cease pitch?
Cease pitches on Saturday.
This Saturday?
Which means they would be lining him up to potentially pitch game 3 of that series. On the road where he hasn't won in. Isn't that what they're doing?
Scooby.
So it'd be, you're lining up Pivetta for game 1, King for game 2, and the lights out Dylan Cease for that big road start in Chicago, where of course he spent a lot of his career with the White Sox. Some storylines there if it's Cease against the Cubs in Chicago game 3.
Look, first win tonight. Like we'll worry about game 3 when game 3
True,
comes.
but I mean, we are worrying that they're going to
if
be.
If there is even a game 3,
they're going to be in the postseason, though, right?
Yes, I'm not even thinking about a collapse. My mind can't even go to a collapse.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I know if they do collapse, oh
yeah, yep.
Oh, it's going to be just the worst.
Yep,
it's going to be the worst.
But I'm with you. I don't need to go to a game 3 either right now.
No.
And by the way, if it is only a 2-game series, then he'd be in line to start a first game if you won that series.
Like I can't get upset at the team for potentially lining up Dylan Cease for a potential game 3 when there might not even be a game 3.
Well, who else can you even line up? Also, is the point that we've been trying to make. You could line up Yu Darvish. He's been ineffective a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how they might have more confidence in Dylan Cease than Yu Darvish.
Right. It speaks to the starting pitching issues. By the way, if you're wondering, the Padres are 5 games up at a playoff spot, and they hold the tiebreaker with the Giants.
Yeah.
They don't with the Reds. They lost the season series 4-2.
Ooh.
Yeah. If they finish in a tie with the Reds for the final playoff spot, San Diego's out. If they finish in a tie with the Giants for the final playoff spot, the Giants are out.
But still go Giants this weekend.
Yeah, that whole hypothetical, I'm 100% on board with that. I'm not going to play for to kneel on the football. You're going to hope that teams behind you don't catch you, or you're going to play still for a division. I'm trying to play up, not avoid teams behind me.
Yeah, 100%.
That's how you have to treat it right
now. You
now.
have to go out there and take care of business against the Rockies, and then you root for the Giants against the Dodgers. And if the Giants take 2 or 3 and you sweep the Rockies,
you've gained 2 games.
Is it 2 games or 2.5? No, yeah, you're right. 2. Is it? Well,
2.5.
2.5. You would have gained 2.5, and you'd be a half game back. Really, I guess a 1 game back. It's really weird.
Yeah, you'd still be 2 back in the. You still have to have fewer losses than the Dodgers at the end of the year.
Oh, really?
So the half game is inconsequential. It means absolutely nothing.
Okay.
Literally nothing.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Right.
The Padres winning today, and everyone's going to be like, they've pulled to within 2.5. Okay. They're both going to play the same number of games within 2 weeks. So it's not going to factor.
They're still 3 back in the loss column.
Exactly. They're 3 back in the loss column today.
Correct.
So the only way to overcome that is, again, with 4 full games in the standing.
So, yeah, even if they win today, they're still 3 back in the loss column.
Yeah, I would say when we always have these must-win conversations, Jim, it's a must-win from the division. We haven't even had this conversation today. I basically punted on it last night, maybe because I was frustrated. And
I feel like you've punted on it and then kind of got yourself back into it and then punted on it again for the last 3 weeks.
Everyone has.
True.
But I punted on it out of frustration. I didn't punt on it mathematically. I'll punt on it everything if they lose tonight. There's going to come a point where you cannot do it. You cannot be 4 games back in the loss column and need to overcome a game. At some point, you can't do it. The math won't support them doing it. Even right now, Fangraphs gives the Dodgers a 91% chance of winning the division. So I'm not holding my breath. 91%.
All right.
So I'm not holding my breath.
I'm not either. And I just kind of am starting to prepare myself for Chicago.
Yeah, you're starting to pack.
Unless something changes, unless they start playing better baseball. And I mean
really better.
Really better baseball. They can't just we win 2 here, lose 2 there. No, final 16 games, go 10-6.
What would that do?
What would it do?
Yeah. It would send them to Chicago, right?
That would send them to Chicago most likely, yeah. But would you consider 10-6 the better baseball?
Yeah. Although it's what we'll be saying. They did it against the White Sox and the Rockies.
Yeah, it's crazy. 10-6 in your mind, that's good baseball.
And it is.
But it will likely only still keep you at a 5 seed.
Yeah, because even the Cubs right now are how many games clear of the Padres?
They are 4.
Yeah. So that's a lot of games.
4 up in the loss. So if the Cubs go 10-6,
you'd have to go 13-3 to tie them, and we don't know about the tiebreaker.
Right.
So yeah, that's a lot of work.
It's a good amount of work.
By the way, right, yeah. I thought the Dodgers had a 91% chance of winning the division. That's where it was last night. We were on the wrap-up show.
Yeah. Oh, was that last night?
Somehow we wake up. It's 92.8% chance.
Yeah.
So the Padres have a 7.1% chance mathematically of winning the division. They now have a 0.4% chance of a bye. So that's done. There's the 2 seed conversation that we had a lot in August.
Oh, yeah, that's out.
That's done. And the conversation right now is, 7% chance of a 3 seed, right? 7% chance of Fangraphs of winning the division. But they're basically saying, they being math is supporting the idea that they're going to be a 4, 5, or 6 seed in the playoffs.
Okay.
And most likely a 5 seed. Because, that's where they're locked into right now. And there's separation behind them and in front of them.
Just go out and win a baseball game tonight. And then go out the next night and win a baseball game again. And then win another game. And then win another game. Go beat up the Rockies. Please.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stumble here at home against the Rockies. If you split, Monday, I will. If they split against the Rockies on Monday, I am only talking about the Cubs in the 5 seed and going to Chicago.
What you should be talking about is the 6 seed if that happens. That's what you should be talking about.
True. Yeah.
We'll
see, but it's all depending on what the teams behind them do.
True.
So, if everything stays status quo and they're still 3 up on a 6 seed, which they are right now, then I'm who
are the Mets?
With 12 to play, up by 3 for the 6 seed?
Right. Well, who are the Mets playing? Oh, they're still playing the Phillies, aren't they?
Well, the Mets play you next week.
Good point.
So there's 3 games right there.
It's at City Field.
So you're right. I will be talking about the 6 seed as well.
If they go 2-2.
But I will only be talking about the 5 and 6 seed is my point.
Yeah.
I will only be talking about the 5 and 6 seed. The Padres don't take at minimum 3 out of 4 against the Rockies.
The wrap is next. Mark Ziegler from the UT on the Aztecs at 4 p.m. Chris Hodge, Sports Investors Daily, sponsored by TakingVegas.com, has free picks for our listeners at 4:30. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Jon and Jim, Mark Ziegler coming up at 4 p.m. in about 14 minutes. Chris Hodge taking Vegas will join us at 4:30. We're going to hear from Mike Shildt because he has spoken with the media. So when we get the audio, we will play it for you coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. Also, Jim, today we have a gift card for San Diego Restaurant Week. We'll give away a $50 gift card to Ortega's in the 4 o'clock hour.
Yay!
Yeah, and we're going to announce, by the way, the winner of our sombrero giveaway.
Yep.
Coming up at 5:30.
Yep.
So we'll announce the winner of our sombrero giveaway. Sombrero Mexican food
Can't
has been serving
wait.
up San Diego style Mexican food for over 40 years. We're heading out to someone's workplace tomorrow with burritos. Jon and Jim hand delivered. We'll be hanging out somewhere in San Diego County tomorrow. We'll tell you where. Coming up at 5:30. But right now, Brent, let's get to this.
It's time for the wrap. Presented by Sombrero Mexican Food. Check out their website at sombreromex.com.
Is this a must-sweep series for the Padres?
It's a must-sweep series for the Padres if they have any hopes of winning the division. If you sweep the Rockies here, then I feel like you give yourself a little hope. But other than that, it's not a must-sweep series for the Padres because it does feel kind of like they're the closer we get to the end of the season, they're kind of locking themselves in that 5 seed. But it's only a must-sweep series if they have any hopes of winning the division.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they have to sweep the series. I think they should feel like they need to win this series.
Correct.
So the margin there's just one game. I mean, 4-0 or 3-1.
Right.
I don't feel good if they do anything worse than 3-1 over the next 4 days if I'm a Padres fan or if I'm the Padres team. So I don't think they have to sweep it. I think 3-1 maybe starts rolling the ball in the right direction, for the final 16 games of the year. But no, I don't think it's a must sweep. It's hard to sweep a 4-game series.
Yeah.
Next question.
Who has a better game tonight, Jordan Love or Jaden Daniels?
I will go with, just because they're at home, I'll go with Jordan Love.
Yeah.
I think both quarterbacks could have a good game, but I'll just take the home team quarterback.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair. They are favored by 3.5 points. So I'm going to agree with you. I think Jordan Love at home. I think Packers win a close game tonight. I hope it's a really good game. I think the Packers at home win a close game tonight. Next question.
What are your expectations for Danny O'Neal this weekend against Alabama?
Dude, Danny O'Neal
on the road
lit it up for the Wisconsin Badgers against
Who was it against?
Was it against like a tech school?
No, there was a T.
Middle Tennessee.
Look at you, man. That's impressive. How on earth did you know that?
I know my Middle Tennessee football.
Do you know where Middle Tennessee is?
Nope.
Well, it's in the middle of Tennessee.
I know it is.
You know the town?
Nope.
You can have anything you want that I own. And you can have my bank account. You can have whatever you want if you tell me the town that Middle Tennessee State is in. Because I know.
Of course you do. What is it?
Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Murfreesboro?
Murfreesboro.
Murfreesboro.
Which is a hard word.
Feel like I'll
Murphy
give you
if you have a
anything you
speech
want.
impediment.
Murfreesboro.
Oh.
And do you know their name?
Dude, no clue.
Blue Raiders.
Wow. That's funny. What if I just pulled out Murfreesboro? What would you have done?
I would have
you
dropped dead.
Because you said you would have given me anything I wanted.
Anything.
Anything I want.
On Jones, here you go.
I don't know. No, I don't want Jones. You can keep Jones.
What was the question?
What will Danny Dimes do this weekend against Alabama? Probably like 4 tutties, 250, maybe a couple on the ground.
It's a tough assignment for any quarterback, obviously.
Yeah, you think?
Playing at Tuscaloosa, but he did play really well last week. 23 of 27, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick at home.
And these aren't your father's Alabama Crimson Tide.
But, I mean, obviously, trying to win in Tuscaloosa is not an easy
still
task.
Alabama, and to some extent, even though Kalen DeBoer has taken that program a couple of notches down for sure since the Saban days.
It's because their starting quarterback is out for Wisconsin, and that's why Billy Edwards Jr. He was out last week. Danny O'Neal started He's expected to be out this week. Therefore, Danny O'Neill is preparing to start again this week in Tuscaloosa for the Wisconsin Badgers. Of course, tough assignment. Hopefully he plays well. I mean, he was here last year, obviously, with the Aztecs. Hopefully he plays well. But, I mean, to go win down there, I mean, that's asking a ton, obviously, of the Badgers and Danny O'Neill. But hopefully he plays well is what I would say. My expectation is he finds a way to hopefully keep him in the game. Hopefully it's a good game, Next question.
And you can hear that game right here on San Diego Sports 760 starting at 9 o'clock Saturday morning.
Love that.
Are the Chiefs no longer the team to beat in the AFC?
You want to say technically they are because they're the defending AFC champions. But, I mean, let's be real here. They're probably not as good as the Bills. They're probably not as good as the Ravens. They aren't as good as the Chargers. The Chargers just beat them.
Yeah, neutral too.
We'll see how they play against the Broncos. I'm interested to see what the Steelers do. I know it was the Jets, but I mean, Mike Tomlin, he's a team that he wins games like he doesn't have a bad season ever. I mean, they're up there for sure, but they have injuries. I just don't see it with the Chiefs. So my answer to that would be no. They're not the team to beat.
I feel like we did say that a lot last year in the regular season, that they were just kind of going through motions, winning close games, not looking Chiefs-esque. And then in the postseason, they find themselves in the Super Bowl again. Now they were blown out in that game.
But they didn't win against the Chargers in week 1.
No, I can confirm that.
So, I mean,
yeah, I don't know if
15-1 last year, and
they didn't. Did they go 16-1?
Or no, 15-2.
15-2,
I think it was.
That's amazing.
I think they did.
Are you sure? Or are you just saying that? That's a good record. They were the 1 seed, right?
Hold on. Of course. Yeah, they were not
on the road.
1 seed. They were on the road for the AFC
They
title
were
game.
15-2 last year
Against Buffalo.
So what was the record last year? This is where you 15-2.
Okay.
And they were on the road? No. They hosted that game.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But you were right on the 15 wins. You were right on the 15 wins.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, so they were 15-2.
Yeah. That was the year before they went on the road and they beat the Ravens.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember that. Can they afford to start 0-2? They did not lose at home last year. They're a dog at home to the Eagles.
I think I look at the AFC West, and it's too early to predict, but on paper right now, the AFC West feels like kind of a juggernaut because you got coaches up and down that division. Harbaugh, Carroll, Andy Reid, Sean Payton. That's a who's of coaches in the NFL. It's not going to be easy for them. It won't. I don't care what anybody says. It's not going to be a cakewalk for them. I feel like the NFL and teams that are, competing with the Chiefs have done everything they can to try to get past the Chiefs, and we'll see what happens this year. But
there's going to be a time. There's going to be a time.
I feel like, it's the same thing that happened with the Warriors, right? The Warriors were going the NBA Finals, and they got caught up to. The league decided to, hey, we're going to
head down that path.
We're going to just start shooting and chucking threes.
Yeah. Well, and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are too good not to appear in Super Bowls. There's going to be a time. Yeah. There's going to. It's not one team we're talking about. There's Justin Herbert at some point.
Right.
I'd say it, but there's going to be a time when other players and quarterbacks and teams break through. Obviously, in the AFC. By the way, we have Mike Shildt audio, and we will play it for you. Pre-game coming up at 4:15. But first, Mark Ziegler from the UT, because the Aztecs men's basketball schedule is out. You heard what John Rothstein had to say about the Aztecs. Are they the best, quote unquote, non-power program in the country? May they be just one of the best programs in the country? Mark Ziegler is going to join us on the other side. We'll talk some Aztecs men's hoops with Mark coming up. Chris Hodge taking Vegas at 4:30 has free picks for our listeners, and we'll hear from Mike Shildt in the 4 o'clock hour. We have giveaways for you. We've got gift cards. Don't go anywhere. We're here until 6. Hour 3 of Jon and Jim on San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeart Radio app is next.
This update's brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Padres and Rockies start a 4-game series tonight at Petco Park. 6:40 first pitch. Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres. Padres now trail the Dodgers in the National League West by 3 games. Dodgers have an off day today before they start a 3-game series this weekend with the San Francisco Giants. And about an hour from now in Green Bay, Wisconsin, Thursday Night Football, Week 2 gets underway. Packers and Commanders. Again, that's 5:15 kickoff time at Lambeau Field. Don't let data limits hold you back from being the gift master in the family group chat. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk, available at straighttalk.com or Walmart.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 3 of Jon and Jim. We'll be here until 6 p.m. We're going to hear from Mike Shildt coming up in about 15 minutes. He has spoken with the media this afternoon, but it's great to connect as always. We've connected with Mark Ziegler so many times over the years. He covers the San Diego State men's basketball beat for the San Diego Union Tribune, and he's back with us right now on Jon and Jim. We're getting closer, Mark, as you know, to the season. Now the schedule is officially out, both the non-conference and the conference. What's just your overall reaction? We see Grand Canyon in the league. I think metrically that can be beneficial. We see the non-conference slate with the Vegas games in Arizona. What do you make of the schedule overall?
It's about what I expected. And, Brian Dutch has said it numerous times. He kind of sets his schedule based on what his expectations for the team are. If he's not going to take a team that he doesn't think has a chance to be really good into some, really tough games, particularly early. If he thinks they're really good, he's going to test them, and he's going to test these guys. And obviously, we knew they were going to be in the Players Only Festival, Players Era Festival. Sorry, and the Arizona game was something that they wanted to add, a little more strength schedule. I think they were looking at another game, and then as soon as Grand Canyon came into the league, and they realized they most likely would be playing at Grand Canyon, and now they are. That became another really tough game, and they felt like they had enough strength in the schedule. But even some of the non-conference home games, which are just bye games, a couple of those teams like Lamar and Troy are going to be picked first or second in their league, so they're not going to be pushovers. They're going to be tough games, good teams, talented teams. So I think it's a good overall mix of easier games and harder games, and they'll have a chance to get themselves secured in the NCAA tournament, probably by the end of November if they do well in Vegas.
Just how good do you think this team can be, if healthy?
Well, it's interesting today at practice, before practice started, when they gather around, there's usually a message before practice and then at the end of practice. And Brian Dutcher was talking to him. He goes, look, I have high expectations for you guys, and other people really do. And our job is to live up to those expectations. And you just don't do that in games. You do that in September, on September 11th. I mean, you do it months before the season, every single day. You just got to grind. And they really had like a grinding practice today. I mean, it was pretty good, I thought. But I think that's kind of the message that, look, this team can do some really big things. And it's hard to say, in other sports and team sports, particularly in the NBA and baseball, where you got a best-of-7 series, you can kind of say, okay, our expectation is to get to the World Series or get to the NBA finals or the conference finals. But college basketball, it's a little bit harder to set a goal because of the one and done nature of the tournament. You just try to get to the tournament and then see what happens. But, and I kind of think that's the way they're approaching it. But I really feel like this team is expecting, at least, obviously at least to be in the tournament, but to make a little bit of a run, minimum second weekend type thing in the tournament. And I think that's valid. I mean, they have everything you could imagine you would need: size, experience, speed, athleticism. All that is there. It's just a question of, can they put it together on the floor?
Mark Ziegler is with us right now from the UT. It's funny you say that. It's not to compare this team in the preseason to the final chapter of the 2023 team that ended up playing for a national championship. But from a roster perspective, how would you compare like the depth? Because it feels like the calling card right now with this team is they have a chance to be very deep. And one of the stories of that team that ended up in a Final Four was, they had the 9 starters, essentially, obviously 4 coming off the bench. But do you feel like there are some similarities just with the roster makeup of the two teams?
Yeah, this one's a little bit more balanced in terms of it's got a little bit of everything. That team just had a lot of bulk and size, and when they figured it out after losing to Arizona in Maui, and kind of said, let's go with a double post, double low post. You don't see that very much in college, but we have the guys to do it. And not only will we just go double low post, but we're going to bring guys off the bench at those positions, and we're just going to grind you down. And they were a 6th-year senior, 5th-year senior, 5th-year senior, 4th-year senior. And so it was more experienced and it was thicker, I would say, than this team. Obviously, there was Jaden Ledee on that team and Wicker Rope, guys like that who were just wide bodies. They don't have those on this team, but but in terms of just the overall depth, I think it goes even deeper because it goes past 9 on this team. It goes to 10, it goes to 11, it goes to 12, and so, Brian Dutcher said the other day, and you were there in his press conference, he goes, I almost have too much depth. I don't like having this much depth because somebody's not going to get to play as much as they deserve. And I think he's already sort of setting the team up for that. He's going to have to make some really hard decisions, unless they're made for him, either by how people are playing or by injuries. But that's the difference in this team is it just goes so deep and just keeps going. And how are you going to sort that out? Because you really can't play 12 guys in a 40-minute game.
How has Magoon looked? And leading off that, what's your expectation for Magoon this year?
So he's looking a lot better. I think he's ahead of his rehab. I kind of always expected him like middle of October. So we're probably a good month away, maybe 5 weeks away from him getting on the court, unless he really, really progresses in terms of like live action. He's most of the time he's out there shooting around, but he's pretty mobile right now. I mean, he can run, move and shoot. He's just not stationary shooting. I think he can do some running in certain environments. But I just watch how much teaching's going on in every practice, how much timing's getting, tweaked and calibrated. And he's just not going to have that. And it's going to be hard for a young player to step in with all these expectations. I mean, Brian Dutcher said the other day, he goes, look, we think he's a pro. We think he's an NBA player. And, he very well might be, but I just think people have to be able to have, just like last season, have a little bit of patience with him. I don't think he's going to step on the floor and start having double doubles with 6 blocks. I think you're going to see it in bits and spurts, but I think it'll come around quicker than it did last year because he knows it's in there and he has that confidence. But just the game timing is going to take a little while. But again, going back to the depth, I mean, you watch and you got a guy like Jeremiah Odin who likely will back him up, who's a 6th-year senior, who's long, athletic, and shoot. I mean, I don't know how much they'll miss a little bit of the shot blocking without him in there, the rim protection. But other than that, I mean, I don't think you're going to miss too much when you have Jeremiah Odin in there. And if Magoon's not ready or can't play heavy minutes yet or his timing's not there, I think this guy's pretty darn good and is going to be a pretty, a good piece for them to have.
When you look at the league, and this stuff changes so often, where a team could be picked in the preseason 9th and they could finish 2nd, or maybe vice versa from 2nd to 9th or whatever. When you look at the league, though, as good as it's been quality-wise, getting teams to the NCAA tournament, then you add in the Grand Canyon, and Grand Canyon's had this recent success, obviously, getting to the tournament in the 2020s. What are your expectations for the league here in 2025-26?
Well, I think the league is down unless they really hit on a lot of the pieces they brought in. But I just think the power conference schools have more money. The money is just starting to really separate things. Every year, I think you see it a little bit more. It doesn't mean they don't make mistakes or they overlook a guy who is in a mid-major program and emerges. But I just think there could be fewer and fewer of those instances, if that makes sense. I look at a team like Nevada. It's going to be hard to replace what they lost. Boise State, is another one. New Mexico lost everybody. I mean, they still could be really good. Eric Olin's a really good coach. He's going to have a different approach and philosophy. But I just think in terms of like the proven commodities in this league, obviously San Diego State, and it's going to be I think Grand Canyon's the 2nd best team in this league. And then Utah State's going to be pretty good, I think. Again, I know they lost some pieces. But I don't know that it's going to be a 4 or 5, 6 bid league I think it's going to be more closer to 3. But that's still pretty good. I mean, you don't have too many mid-major leagues like that. But the thing, the nature of the beast in the Mountain West is that the travel is so difficult, particularly for the C-level teams, that's the great equalizer. And so you can have a team like Nevada that is maybe down a little bit, but you got to go up to Nevada and play. And it's a tough crowd and a tough environment, and the altitude, the travel, and it's cold, all those things. And it makes games a lot closer than maybe they should be on paper.
How big of an impact do you see Reese Waters have in returning this year from injury?
Well, I keep saying it, and even like the last few practices I've been to, I find myself forgetting about him. I think he's the forgotten man in this whole equation. Look, he was their best player last year going into the season. He was their only all-conference player. He had, the season before, the first half of 2 seasons ago, he was, 23-24. He was probably their best player. I mean, Jaden Ledee was really, really good, but man, Reese had some big games. I keep going back to the Gonzaga game at Gonzaga, where he was the best player on the floor by a mile. Nobody could stop him. He just looks so good. And then he rolls his ankle and he kind of gets behind. He comes back too soon and pushes himself. And then he gets in his head, and in his back half of the season isn't that good. And then he doesn't play at all last year, and people forget about him. But man, he looks good in practice. I don't think he's missed a shot since I've been there since July. I mean, he makes everything. And his defense was good, and he brings size, he brings experience, and if he keeps it together and he stays healthy, he could have a huge season. I mean, he's such a talented player, and everyone's forgotten about him. They're just talking about Miles Bird, they're talking about Magoon, they're talking about Farrell, they're talking about the transfers they brought in, Taj, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But don't sleep on this guy.
That is so well said. Mark Ziegler with us from the UT. Mark, just a couple of more. I wanted to ask you just locally about the impact of UC San Diego to the WCC. And now you got, obviously, USD. You have UCSD. Why the move, and what does it mean for like the local Division I college basketball scene?
Well, I think the move, there's a couple things. I mean, I think their success in basketball last year got them thinking like, well, wow, that was easy. Our first year of Division I, and we went to the tournament and almost beat Michigan. Well, yeah, we could play at even higher level. And I think that got them thinking. I know the WCC had been kind of chasing them for a while, and they'd kind of been resisting. And that, I think, kind of pushed them over the top. Let's get into a better league, and let's, maybe a little more TV revenue, some more exposure, and Gonzaga will be gone. And, and then I also think the other half of that equation is what's going on with the Big West. The bottom of the Big West is just a mess. It's, you're playing basically in high school gyms with laminated wooden bleachers you pull out from the wall, and not a lot of resources. And I think they just felt like they outgrew it really quickly. Now, that said, be careful what you wish for, because the WCC without Gonzaga still is a pretty good conference. And there are several programs in there, USF, St. Mary's, Santa Clara, that have the kind of resources that UCSD does not have. I mean, they charter everywhere. USF has houses just across the street from campus for their coaches because it's so expensive to live up there. They have buy budgets. Some have practice facilities. I mean, so these are the type of things that, that's the next level. And yes, they competed last year at that level, but that was kind of an aberration. They had a really good coach who they've lost. And he also kind of had a cheat code there where he figured out getting Division II guys who played a lot of minutes, taken a lot of big shots, been in a lot of big games, even if it's at a lower level, really translates to the Division I level. Everyone else kind of ignored it. Now everyone's onto that, and the big boys are offering those guys NIL, so they can't get those same kind of players. And so I don't know that they're going to have that same kind of success. So I don't think it's going to be as easy as they think it is. But this move was just, it basically was for that reason, that they felt like they outgrew the Big West, and they wanted to get off that train and get on the next one.
And then finally, Mark, we're up against it, but St. Mary's and the WCC, all this movement that's taking place, mid-major basketball, what is this going to mean for St. Mary's? Is the Pac-12 still possible, or what do you think happens with the Gales?
I don't know. I know there's been talk, but here's the problem with St. Mary's. Is it a program or is it a coach?
Right.
And that's the eternal question. I think it's probably more the latter. It's Randy Bennett. What happens if Randy Bennett leaves? They don't have great resources. They don't have a great arena. They play in a pavilion. It's not a huge budget athletically. It's not a huge school. They don't have a lot of resources from donors and NIL and that type of thing. And I just think that once Randy Bennett's gone, it's going to be run. I think a lot of people think they're just going to be a run of the mill, lower level WCC team, kind of like a USD is. And so I think that's been the resistance for like the Pac-12 grabbing them. Yeah, they're sexy right now, but 10 years down the road, where are they going to be? And so I think they'll probably stay in the WCC. But then again, whoever thought that UCSD would be in the WCC? So anything is possible.
Anything is possible. We know that in the world of college realignment. Mark, appreciate you taking time for us. We're looking forward to your coverage in the UT during this upcoming season. And thanks for taking time. All right.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right, great stuff from Mark Ziegler at the UT. We're going to hear from Mike Shildt coming up. Chris Hodge, Sports Investors Daily, sponsored by TakingVegas.com. He'll join us at 4:30. This is Jon and Jim. All right, hey guys, it is Schaefer, and there is no better time than now to get down to your local Toyota dealer with new vehicles arriving daily, including their most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs. So whatever kind of vehicle you're looking for, hurry into your Toyota dealer today, or make sure to head to Toyota.com. If you're looking for a great deal on a new Toyota, there you can check out all the latest offers and search inventory. Finding the Toyota that's just right for you starts at Toyota.com. Toyota's Beyond Zero lineup of electrified vehicles helps to create a greener planet. Toyota's Beyond Zero lineup supports a greener planet with a wide range of electrified vehicles, including hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and fully electric vehicles, or take each day further than you thought possible. And a new Camry with its stylish looks that'll make an impression wherever you go. See your Toyota dealer today and discover what makes Camry legendary. There's no better time than now to get your local Toyota dealer. Get your local Toyota dealer today, or Toyota.com. That's Toyota.com. Your Toyota dealers, we make it easy. All right, I'm excited to connect with Chris Hodge. I know Jim is as well.
Always excited.
4:30 now with his free picks for our listeners on the radio. He was 2-0. He had the over on the text line. We'll talk about this with him coming up in Eagles Cowboys. And remember that game was like 4 points away from the over at halftime.
Yeah, the lightning struck and it just screwed the over.
Everything. But he was 2-0 with the free picks for our listeners on the radio. Did drop the text line play. He'll join us again coming up at 4:30.
That shouldn't be his fault.
No, it's not his fault. It rained,
or that they had to stop the game because of lightning.
Right. I blame
the lightning,
the world.
Blame the world for everything. Blame the universe.
I'm going to blame the universe. Yeah. All right. I want to hear from Mike Shildt because we have a few moments here. Mike Shildt, I think it's only about 3 minutes. Yesterday it was like an hour with the media. Yeah. I mean, him and Barry Bloom are just breaking down the all-time bullpen.
Mike, can you break down, please, the historical bullpen numbers?
Mike, the Reds are sneaky good. How about that post
they
game?
Are.
He said, Mike, hey, the Reds are sneaky good. And he took a few seconds like, yeah, absolutely.
He looks like you didn't want to do that in the ninth inning there, huh, Mike? Yeah, we didn't. Oh, I mean, it's because the Reds are they're kind of sneaky good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Can you tell me about the 1982 bullpen for the Padres and how good they were?
We'll get you ready for tomorrow's game coming up next on Padres.tv.
Barry, time to do something else.
All right, let's hear from Shildt. This starts with an update on Xander.
Timeline, no. I can tell you how he's progressing. He's back to baseball activity. Alluded to it yesterday. We got Team Bogey going, which is, obviously the medical, strength conditioning, the infield guy, the base running guys, the hitting guys clearly, and putting together that plan every day that Bogey's weighing in on. And today he's able to get out, move around a little bit with Leap on the infield, and he's going to get some swings in the cages. And he's feeling good. As far as timeline goes, it's just too early. We're just trying to knock off, the next day and take inventory of what happened today. We'll do it after the game tonight. The group will get together and figure out what that looks like, and then figure out what tomorrow looks like. And we'll keep ramping as long as he keeps feeling good.
Saw JP's here in the clubhouse today. Can you give us an idea of where he might slot and what you're looking for?
Yeah, we're going to put him in. We'll probably announce it after the game, but he's going to start in the series, and it'll allow some guys to push back and get him some extra days.
Strict insertion, we're not replacing anybody.
Strict insertion.
Yeah.
Yes. Strict insertion. Yes. Yeah, a firm insertion.
It's a family show,
yes.
Sanders. Come on.
Oh, my dude, Tom.
Hey, I'm not looking. I know
my
we moved
gosh.
the cable, but that's egregious. Look.
I didn't even go there at all. I don't know where.
You're welcome. I'm here. I'm speaking to the group.
Publicly. Yeah.
No more questions.
All right.
So, what does that do for the rotation?
It'll push Cease and Darvish back.
In terms of
and King and Pavetta. Everybody's going to get either an extra day or relative to the extra day or the day off, rather, 2 extra days.
And that's obviously helpful given like kind of the time of the calendar and how much of it has been pitched. Is that kind of
that's all. That's the idea of all of it, is confidence in JP and the ability to, make sure we're taking care of Darvish. Michael just came back and has recovered well, but continue to make sure what that looks like. Dylan and Nick has been taking the ball and making sure they're getting their days appropriately, and we know we're keeping everybody in a position where they can go out and go pitch and dominate as a starter should.
Pavetta was saying that he's not going to pitch for 7 days. Is that pretty much correct?
I'm not ready to announce that, but he's going to be pushed back. I don't think it's a full 7 though.
6. You're going with the 6-man rotation for a while?
We're not going the 6-man rotation. We're inserting
just for this
Sears,
time around. Just for this time around.
Which allows for that to happen. Yes.
Mike. So, are you going with the 6-man rotation now, or an 8-man rotation?
Rockies are good.
We literally just said we're pushing everybody back to get them a extra day of rest. We're going with the 5. But Mike, aren't you going to go with a 6 or 7-man rotation with JP Sears in there?
And Mike, how do you compare the 2025 Rockies to the 2024 White Sox?
Why?
Because we have to. Why is that happening? Why is he there, or why are we playing it each and every day?
No, both. Yes,
right, right.
Mostly, why is Barry Bloom there?
Right. What I love is here's what I love, real quick. When the Padres will how they've lost 11 of 16.
Yeah.
And I'll tweet out like wrap up show, and people are like, no, do we have to? I'm like, yes.
Yes, we have
If we're
to.
talking about it, you're going to suffer with us.
Yep.
You've been in this thing since March.
We're not just like going to say, no,
No,
we're not doing
gonna-
it.
No, like we're all in this thing together. There's no time to jump off bandwagons right now.
If we're going to do a
Just
Tuesday
do it.
wrap-up show in June against the Rockies, we're doing
We're
a wrap-up show in September.
So like, come on, this thing's going to be over before we know it. No matter what happens, whether they win in October or lose in October, this thing is going to be over. But all right, so they're going to push back their starters. We talked about this within the last hour. JP Sears tomorrow, Randy Vasquez today. Padres trying to get right here with 16 games to play.
But are they going with a 6-man rotation?
Or 7. What, 7? Who's the 7th? You can't deal.
I can't deal with
You
it.
literally can't deal. All right, here's what we're going to do. Do not go anywhere. Chris Hodge has free NFL picks and college football picks for our listeners on the other side of a break. Chris Hodge, Sports Investors Daily, sponsored by TakingVegas.com. You can hear him each and every Saturday morning from 8 to 9 a.m. right here on San Diego Sports 760. He's been with this show for the last 4 years. He's been on the station for years and years and years. And Chris Hodge from Taking Vegas has free picks for us coming up next on Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app.
This update is brought to you by Superstar Car Wash. Padres and Rockies start a 4-game series at Petco Park tonight. 6:40 first pitch. Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres. Padres trail the Dodgers now by 3 games in the National League West with just 16 to play. And tonight, 5:15 kickoff. Week 2 of the NFL season gets underway. Packers and Commanders from Lambeau Field. 5:15 kickoff time there. Superstar Car Wash, the car wash with superpowers. Sign up for a free car wash today. That's right. Totally free for a limited time because Superstar Car Wash loves what makes you shine. See website for details.
All right, week 2 about to get underway in the NFL. Always great to connect with Chris Hodge, Sports Investors Daily, sponsored by TakingVegas.com. You can hear Chris each and every Saturday morning right here on San Diego Sports 760 from 8 to 9 a.m. Now, he had free picks in week 1 for our listeners, okay? He was 2-0 on the radio with the free picks. Now, the text line was a ridiculously bad beat because, Chris, you had the over, and this thing was a guaranteed over.
Lightning fault.
And then we all blame the Lightning. It was like 40-something points and then 3 points after the Lightning, but still 2-1 in week 1. And now we've got this massive game tonight to kick off week 2 between the Commanders and the Packers. But as always, Chris, we appreciate you hopping on. And what do you got here tonight for our listeners that you want to make them aware of with Commanders and Packers?
Well, first things first, man. If I ever become an alcoholic, like a game like that Philadelphia-Dallas game is the one that does it. Like, to lose that game is just absolutely insane. But, you know, we always look at the weeks as is. And, you know, we had a really good week last week. All total, we won the false favorite on the Saturday radio show with Texas State. Obviously, I gave you guys South Florida, and we had the Chargers on Friday night. You know, we get screwed with the game there and over Philly-Dallas. But it happens. When we win, we tell you. When we lose, we tell you. Tonight, Washington, Green Bay, interesting matchup in the NFC. Just text the word win to the number 545454. Get a free pick tonight. And as an added bonus, we'll give you the false favorite that we have on Saturday as well. Now, Texas State was around plus 160 last Saturday. The false favorite that we have this Saturday is around plus 180, plus 190. So it's a really good value play. We think our guys can make a lot of money on it. So it's 2 free picks. Text the word win to the number 545454. We'll hook you up tonight. We'll hook you up on Saturday.
All right, so let's get to the free picks for our listeners. Big matchup this weekend, Eagles, Chiefs. What do you have in that one?
I think it's going to be very hard for Kansas City. Now, when you look at it from the perspective of the Chiefs haven't started a season 0-2 since 2014, right? So you expect they're going to come home. It's the home opener at Arrowhead. You think they're going to win that game, but they have so many questions at wide receiver, and that's just really killing them right now because, you know, there's 3 guys that are injured, and 2 of them are questionable, and they might come back, but still, you know, if you're questionable on Thursday, you're not 100%. Philly, obviously, we saw what happened with Jalen Carter, you know, spitting in the guy's face. He gets suspended before play even happens, and that really hurt Philadelphia's defense. I think that the pass rush for the Eagles is really going to create a problem for Kansas City because I don't see the wide receivers on Kansas City creating enough separation to get open quick enough before that pass rush gets to Mahomes. And what happened, that was the same thing that happened in the Super Bowl, and I don't know what has changed. When I watched both teams play in week 1, when I watched their preseason tape. Now, if you look at Kansas City did not win a game in the preseason. Now, the preseason is the preseason. We understand.
Right.
But they haven't won a game in the preseason. They did not play well against the Chargers. They got their butts kicked in the Super Bowl against Philadelphia. You know, this team's in a little bit of a rut overall, and right now Philadelphia is the better team. So I'm going to say go Philly money line. Right now, like -1.5. Take them at -125. They're going to win the game. You don't want to get maybe like up 9 or 8 and get it back to a touchdown and get screwed there. Just take Philly on the money line. I think that's a good play, and they should get it done.
All right, Chris Hodge with us right now. Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Remember, if you want tonight, this massive week 2 game on Thursday Night Football, you get it absolutely free. Washington, Green Bay. Just text the word WIN, WIN, to 545454. That's WIN to 545454. Washington and Green Bay coming up tonight. Speaking of showdowns, let's get to college football. SEC, Death Valley, Tiger Stadium at night, LSU in Florida on Saturday. What's the play here?
Yeah, man, look, we went with South Florida last week, and part of that was that spread was too big, right? The other part of that is Napier is a terrible coach. It is what it is. And I hate saying that about people. I'm not in the business to talk down about people, but when it comes to performance, he is not a good coach. He constantly gets out-coached. And, you know, we have some issues there. They had some injuries on the defensive line. One of their best edge players, LJ McCray, broke his foot in that game. So that's a problem. They are getting a couple guys back, but, you know, they have some injuries there. And when I said last week on this show, I said when they played LIU, who is terrible, okay, they didn't look good. Yes, they won the game 55-0, but that's only because it was an SEC team against an FCS team. Mm-hmm. They didn't look good in the process. And the same things came up last week against South Florida. Now, they played LIU and South Florida. They're averaging 5.5 yards a play. Now, that sounds like a lot. It's number 60 in college. It's a terrible number for college. Now, you got these LSU quarterback. You got their receivers that are really good players. Plus, LSU has a great defensive line with cornerbacks that can cover. So LSU doesn't have to blitz to get pressure on this kid from Florida. I think they're going to create all types of problems, especially the noise, Death Valley at night. That's never good. 7 points. I think LSU wins this game like 38-17. I think they get severely outcoached and severely outplayed. So we'll lay to 7 with LSU.
When it comes to the prediction markets here, Chris, what do you want our listeners to know about that when it comes to sports betting?
You know, it sounds petty. First of all, I was right. I want them to know that, right? That's the petty part of me. Saying, treat sports wagering as an investment and a business, and now you're seeing it on investment platforms. But they do it in terms of cents. So, like, you could buy LSU at 68 cents. If LSU scores the first touchdown, they go up, and you can sell out of it as the game goes on. So you could buy in, sell out during the game. But the other thing about it is really simple. Is it stops people from parlaying. And that's what I really like, because the guys out there listening who do parlays, you guys have no chance. I'm not saying it to be a jerk. I'm in this business. If I thought I could win a 14 parlay every night, I would give it to you. I know that I can't. And I've tried to make people understand this, where if you can just bet 3 to 4 games a week, as opposed to 3 to 4 games a day, you can have success in sports wagering. So I really like the prediction market, because it's people that have an investment platform already, that have money in there, and it stops them from all those showy parlays that these sports books want you to bet. So we've implemented this into our system. We're having some success with it. Nothing crazy just yet, but we're still learning it. And I think as the year goes along, I think it's only going to get bigger and better.
All right, so Chris Hodge is with us right now. Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. He'll be with us all season long with free picks for our listeners every Thursday throughout the NFL season. Again, you can hear him on Saturdays from 8 to 9 a.m. And again, if you want tonight, just text the word WIN to 545454. That's the free text line for Washington, Green Bay. Just text the word WIN to 545454. Now, last week you introduced us to girlsthatgamble.live.
Yes.
Okay. How did week 1 go at girlsthatgamble.live?
You know, they did amazing. Brandy Roderick, she's the host over there. Chanel Maxwell, what a personality she has. They went 6-2 last week. And I love the idea that they have. They also have Jessica Hall over there, who's doing a phenomenal job. But these girls, man, obviously they're pretty, and guys like to look at pretty girls, but they actually know their stuff. When they're talking about the games and breaking it down, they sound more educated than a lot of men I hear in this industry. They're doing it in a good way. Obviously, they're having some fun with it as well. But as I said last week, I would never put my name on something if I didn't believe in it. And I've spoken to these girls personally, met a couple of them. What nice people. Chanel Maxwell, go check her out, because her personality is incredible. And I think you guys will have success over there. They went 6-2 last week, and I know they got some big games lined up this week.
All right, we're excited to get week 2 underway tonight. Washington and Green Bay, just this huge NFL game. Thursday Night Football, you can get it for free right now. Text the word WIN, WIN, to 545454. Chris, we'll hear you on Saturday right here on San Diego Sports 760, beginning at 8 a.m., and then we'll catch up with you again next Thursday afternoon, all right?
Guys, it's a pleasure. You guys have a great day. San Diego's coming to play the Mets soon, right?
Oh, you better believe it. Is it
next week, or
what is it, John? It's next Tuesday.
I hope I end up divorced after that series. I hope my wife throws me out of the house, because I will be rooting so hard for the Padres to beat them, so I don't have to deal with this witch of a woman when it comes to the Mets.
Well, the Mets are actually kind
of... I love her. I love my wife. She's the best in the world. But when it comes to the Met fans, oh boy, they're terrible.
Well, they've kind of fallen off
a little bit. Yeah,
they're trying to hold on for dear life.
The Mets.
I know. Yeah,
I know. What they do.
And it is a big series, truthfully. I mean, Padres Mets will be a big series. Padres are kind of holding on. Mets are holding on for dear life. Yeah, that'll be next week in New York. Chris, always appreciate you, man. We'll do it next week.
All right, you got it. Thanks, guys.
Chris Hodge, takingvegas.com.
You know how when we say like things about our wives and we're like, honey, it's a bit, it's okay.
Should I pull that on? Should I say, like, imagine if I...
No, I'm just saying, like, for anybody out there that thinks like Chris Hodge like hates his wife, we've talked to Chris in person.
I think we may have met his wife at one point in San Diego. Yeah, he was out here a couple of times.
Yeah, they're great.
No, they're great.
It's great.
I think it's a bit.
It's a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all
And
good.
by the way, it's all sports related.
Well, it's a classic house divided
100%.
Mets, Yankees.
Yeah, house
like these-
divided in New York.
It's the house divided
Yeah.
thing.
Yep.
That's what it is,
Yeah.
So anyway.
It's a classic like my house when the Eagles, if they ever play the 49ers again, like that's a house divided.
Yeah, you're saying the same things about Aaron. I get it.
No, I'm not.
All right. Couple of things. Where were we? Oh, yeah, I know where we were. We've got a $50 gift card to Ortega's.
Yes, we do.
For San Diego Restaurant
Yes,
Week.
we do.
So we're going to give that away because we're going to get back to Trainwreck Radio and have trivia on the other side. So who wants a $50 gift card to Ortega's? I have
I do.
a $50 gift card. Okay. First two callers will be contestants. 877-767-4760. Call right now. This is an amazing giveaway. $50 gift card. Are you kidding me? To Ortega's. 877-767-4760. Pick up the phone right now and call if you want a free $50 gift card to Ortega's. Now, Sunday, September 14th through Sunday, September 21st is San Diego Restaurant Week with 100 plus restaurants. This is from all the way up in Oceanside, all the way down in Chula Vista, offering variations of multi-course menus starting at just $30. If you're looking for the full list of restaurants, just visit san diego restaurantweek.com. That's san diego restaurantweek.com. But again, we've got Trainwreck Radio on the other side. Our first two callers will be contestants. The winner today of trivia has a free $50 gift card to Ortega's to celebrate San Diego Restaurant Week. Call 877-767-4760. That's 877-767-4760. That's next on Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, with you until 6 p.m. If you miss Mark Ziegler, you'll hear that coming up at 5:30. Maybe we can play back Mike Shildt actually in the 5 o'clock hour as well. Padres.
Oh,
and
I
Rockies.
can't. I want to hear Barry Bloom ask a irrelevant question again.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna get that chance.
I can't wait until it happens. Tell me when, so I can leave the room before I gouge my ears out.
You can't leave. By the way, to put in perspective, the Padres this weekend against the Rockies and how we keep saying they got to win 4 of these. You know, they got to sweep, or they got to win 3 out of 4.
Got to win.
They're minus 255. I mean,
Dude,
they are
come
heavy favorites. Now they're facing a guy with a 13 ERA. And what did we say last night in the wrap-up show? If I look up in the 6th inning, it's 1-1.
Dude.
Right?
Can't happen.
I can't deal with that. I can't watch this game tonight and see a 1-1 game in the 6th inning.
Can't happen.
Not going to allow that to occur.
I need to look up in the 5th inning and like it's 5-1 or something.
Manny's got tonight, Manny. Tonight against the Rockies and 13 ERA guy.
Got to start, man. Got to start.
Start somewhere.
Dude, his numbers.
Manny?
Yeah.
Since August 1st? What is it? 190, 195. Somewhere in there.
Probably worse.
No, it's somewhere in there.
Feels worse.
Yeah, it's somewhere in there.
But another 0 for 4 last night.
It's like every night.
His OPS is now down to 790 on the season.
Incredible.
His last 30 games, I know the struggles have been happening longer than that. But just to put in his last 30 games, he's hitting 178 with a 236 on base and a 288 slug. What?
I'll match you and raise you. Remember I told you the 904 OPS day?
Mm-hmm.
Since then, 80 games, he's hit 234 with a 699 OPS. His last 80 games, Manny Machado has a 699 OPS. 6. His OPS starts with a 6.
He hit 222 in August, and so far in September, it's September 11th, he is hitting 108. It's not September 1st.
Yeah, exactly. It's been 10 plus days. Exactly.
His post All-Star game numbers right now, 242 with a 695 OPS. Did you just read that?
No, I didn't. I said 699 over his last 80 games.
I was like, well, that sounds familiar.
But I mean,
I mean, come on, man. It's not great.
Just orchestrates the point that he has just not been near the player he was.
He actually has a lower OPS against left-handed pitch or against right-handed pitching than left-handed pitching.
Yeah, he's just off.
Something's off there, man. Something
is off. Something's off. We started the show with that. We'll get back to the 5 p.m. But right now, let's get to those.
All right, 3 questions, 2 contestants, 1 lifeline. Today's 2 contestants. We have Victor and we have Juan. Victor, you called in first. So you have your choice of Jon or Jim. Who do you want to go with?
I'll take Jim.
Okay, perfect.
Victor and Jim.
Victor and Jim and Juan. You get Jon, okay?
Let's go.
All right, let's go. Brent, what is the question of the day?
Wait, who's with who?
Victor has Jim. Juan has Jon.
Yeah, because that's like my name in Spanish.
Yeah, there you go.
Could be. Yeah.
Could be. All right, Brent, what's the question of the day?
All right, guys, in week 1, believe it or not, only 7 players had 70 or more rushing yards in week 1. Today's question, name those 7 players who had at least 70 or more rushing yards in week 1.
Ooh, okay. Juan, you're up first. What's your first guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
Holy moly. Let's go Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, good guess.
Well done.
Victor, you're up. What's your first guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
All right, let's go with teammate Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. There we go. Back to you, Juan. What is your second guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
Breece Hall.
Breece Hall. I like it. Victor, back to you. What is your second guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
I'll use a lifeline.
Got to think about this one for a second. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Just going through stuff right now. Travis Etienne. Do you take that?
Okay, I'll take it. Yes.
Boom!
Wow.
Let's go.
That's your guy. Did you ask that question?
It is my guy.
Yeah, that's your guy.
Juan,
Every week,
yeah. Juan, you're up next. What is your final guess? And you do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
John, bail me out here.
Oh, good luck.
It's not Barkley, but I can't do the process
No,
of
you
elimination.
can't do that. You just said
Oh,
Barkley.
yeah, you're right. No, but I say it's not him.
Okay. Well, you just helped out.
Bijan Robinson.
Oh, Bijan Robinson. You take it.
All right, take it.
You idiot. You don't know football.
He shares our name. Bijan, Juan, John.
What?
Like he's like kind of like us.
He did have like a 50-yard reception, but I don't think
That counts.
No, it doesn't.
He ran.
Victor, you could walk this off here with the correct answer. Only thing is you don't have a lifeline, so this is all up to you. What do you got?
Okay. I think I went up against him in fantasy. I think he did okay. I'm going to say Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas. For the win.
For the win. Let's go, Victor. Boom. Mic drop.
So basically, I lost the game for one.
Yes, it's all your fault. Like
the
it's
other
all
name
your
I was
fault.
going to say is
It's all your fault.
Yeah, I don't know who else I would have said.
I can't even think of anybody else right now. We're missing what? How many are we missing?
Wait, did anyone say Christian McCaffrey?
He did not rush for 70 yards.
Yeah, that would be wrong.
Okay.
I'm scrolling down to see how many yards Bijan Robinson had.
Not a lot. Yeah, let me just look at I want to look it up real quick.
Well, Brent has the list.
I know, but Brent's also looking at Bijan Robinson numbers. All right, here we go. Derrick Henry, Travis Etienne, Breece Hall, Jonathan Taylor. Who's this guy?
Who's this guy?
Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt?
Dude, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt.
Who does he play for?
JPC.
He's going to play tonight. He's on the Commanders.
You better believe he will.
He had 10 carries for 82 yards.
Went off.
Lamar Jackson. And then you have RJ Harvey from UCF.
That's what I said.
6 carries for 70 yards. That's pretty good.
That's very good.
Bijan was close. He had 12 carries for 24 yards.
Close.
Thank you.
Close.
He was approaching 70 with this
He was
next carry.
that close.
McCaffrey had 69 yards rushing. Nice.
He just missed a cut.
Yeah, on 22 rushes. Woof.
All right, Victor, congratulations. You have a $50 gift card to Ortega's for San Diego Restaurant Week. Sunday, September 14th through Sunday, September 21st, featuring 100 plus restaurants from Oceanside to Chula Vista. This is like Jim's dream, by the way. 100 plus restaurants for Restaurant Week, offering variations of multi-course menus starting at just $30. The full list of restaurants at san diego restaurantweek.com. That is san diego restaurantweek.com. Wouldn't you want to go to all the restaurants during Restaurant Week?
Yes.
Like, that's like your dream.
Yes, I
So
do.
The full course.
I would consider myself a foodie.
What do you mean? That's like saying, yeah, of course you are.
It's
It's like
like
saying I like sports.
Yeah, it's like I like college football.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a foodie, dude.
I am.
You basically spend all of your disposable income on food.
It's close.
Not all of it. But I mean, you guys like going out to nice restaurants.
Yeah, we haven't been. When was the last time we went to a nice restaurant?
You just went.
Where?
I don't know, but you went on a Saturday.
Saturday?
Yes. To a restaurant.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah, you did.
We did. It was good. It was good. I forget the name of the place was.
Right.
It wasn't like next level, though. It wasn't like Jeanette Jolie. It was like, whoa.
Here's the thing. My problem with going next level restaurant, like dead serious conversation right now, is it can be an amazing experience, and it is good to spend time with your wife, significant other, whatever. But it's a lot of money, dude. If you spend, for example, if you are going to spend a couple of $100 on dinner one night, that's a month's worth. Well, maybe not months. That could be a week or two worth of food for a night.
I'm not spending that much money. We're not spending that much money
Bro,
on food.
I've been with you. You can spend a lot of money on food. When we went to Vegas, we spent like $1 zillion on food one meal. With Aaron and Kristen, the Japanese restaurant.
It was like $100.
No, we spent like 16 grand.
No, we didn't. It was like $130.
No, that awesome place where Wayne Gretzky was
right. Wayne Gretzky just walked by us. It was
anyway,
Morimoto's sushi restaurant.
That was not $130 a pop, dude.
I think it was like $100.
I'm gonna go to my credit card.
Me too.
Look at it's from like 2 years ago. Tell me how much we spent that night. We spent more than $130 each.
I'm looking. We're not going to break.
No, look it up on the other side.
No, we're not going to break.
Plus, we're going to hear from Mike Shildt coming up. If you missed Mark Ziegler, you'll hear him in the 5 o'clock hour. And we have Billy Idol tickets to give away for September 23rd. Hour 4, Jon and Jim comes your way next.
All right, this update is brought to you by California Air Resource Board. Padres and Rockies start a 4-game series tonight at Petco Park. 6:40 first pitch. Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres. Mike Shildt earlier this afternoon in his media scrum announced that all starters are going to get a day extra rest here. JP Sears has been recalled. He's going to start tomorrow night for the Pods. And the NFL Week 2 gets underway at Lambeau Field. 5:15 kickoff time. Packers and Commanders. Are you compliant with California's clean truck check? Almost all vehicles over 14,000 pounds, gross vehicle weight rating, operation in California need to report, pay annual fees, and test. Visit arb.ca.gov/clean truck check.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is the final hour of Jon and Jim. We'll be with you until 6 p.m. We do have a giveaway for you coming up later this hour. And that'll be a pair of tickets to see Billy Idol and Joan Jett. This will be September 23rd. That's 12 days away at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. So we'll give those away coming up later in the hour. In addition, we will hear from Mark Ziegler again, and we're going to tell you who is the winner of our Sombrero Mexican food delivery lunch tomorrow. Jon and Jim will deliver lunch tomorrow here in San Diego County. Deliver and like hang out, right? Eat.
Yep. It's a lunch with Jon and Jim.
Talk some. What do you think we'll be talking more? Seriously, with our winner. Are we talking Padres Rockies? Are we talking Commanders Packers? Are we talking? What are we talking tomorrow? Are we talking Aztecs football? Are we talking Aztecs basketball?
SDFC.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Wake Forest, NC State.
Yeah, we probably should talk about that.
ACC football.
That's coming up today at
6:01.
6:01 p.m.
Do we have that game? We're not joining in progress. Wake Forest, NC State tonight. No, we're not.
No.
As much as I would like to.
Exactly.
We started today's show.
You guys have actually been talking to nobody for an hour.
What?
Oh, this game.
Oh,
this game's been on.
Didn't even know that.
We know we've been talking to no one for an hour. Okay.
More like 3 hours.
We started today's show talking about something Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, wrote today in his Padres Daily. And it was that I think this was somewhat of a surprise, was it not, Jim, that the Padres had a team meeting? It was actually over breakfast.
Yeah, like
a team breakfast.
It was over the weekend and we didn't find out about it. It's Thursday now. So this happened last Saturday?
This happened on Saturday. They're 3-2 since this moment. And one of the quotes was from Jackson Merrill, and he said this after the breakfast, wherever they ate. Everybody cares when they come to the field, and we care about winning. We can care all we want. When it comes to performing, that's a different type of care. You know, it's going up there with a plan, not getting away from it and staying with it and doing it. I feel like tonight we were right there at the end. The last inning, we just needed to execute a little more. We cared today, and we put our hearts out there. And that's what we care about. Don't give a beep about the loss. Beep. We don't, because we've got more games coming up. We cared today. Isn't he implying then there were some days that they weren't caring?
If you want to go down that path, because there's other evidence that might show that other days that they're just not in it. And the evidence would be from what Mike Shildt said last night about how they didn't make any adjustments last night offensively. And it sounded like he was kind of disappointed in that. He didn't fully cross that line of like, this is unacceptable. He can't. He just never can. He refuses to do it. But it did feel like he was disappointed with his offense last night.
Yeah.
And it's not the first time recently that he's said things like, God, we got to make adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
You know, last night he was asked, I forget what the first question was, but it had nothing to do with the offense. It was like some just random, how was Nick Pivetta tonight? Like the most just basic first question that's always asked. How was your starting pitcher? It's like, what? And he, in the middle of his long-winded answer, said, oh, we'll get to the offense.
Yeah, almost like he was going to hold them accountable.
Like, I know you're talking about, he goes, I know you'll ask about the offense and I'll get to the offense. I go, uh-oh.
So are you surprised though to learn that they had a team meeting? Is that's the point here?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Because most teams have meetings.
They have multiple team meetings throughout the season that we don't know about, that the fans don't know about, nobody knows about.
Would you call this a meeting if it's over breakfast? Because a lot of times, like, hey, there's a closed door meeting, or there was the manager met with the team, or it was a players. This is the first breakfast sunny side up meeting
Would
I
you-
recall for the Padres.
Right. Would you though consider, because they're on the road,
Yeah.
on the road, random game in September in Colorado.
Mhm.
Is it normal for a team to like always have breakfast together?
No.
Okay.
It's not normal not in the major leagues.
Right.
Yeah, in fact, not even in the minor leagues. There may be
Like guys usually do their own thing.
they would do their own thing. The only like normal is like you get to a stadium and like because of like the clubhouse managers, the clubbies, there's like food available.
Right. You take the bus.
Yeah, no, these guys are all like they have per diem in both the major and minor leagues.
Right.
Like in the major leagues, people would be shocked to learn that their per diem. Think about this: you could make $20 million in a year, and they get another $200 a day just for being in the major leagues.
Yeah.
So the point
Yeah.
is they do their own thing.
Right. So that's where I'm going with it is like, is it normal for them to go out during a road trip?
Maybe they may go out occasionally as a team
For
and
breakfast
and do. No, and that's what I want. I would love to know. Like, was it the Waffle House? Was it Cracker Barrel? Was it in the dining of the Denver Hyatt?
Hold on.
Best breakfast spots in Denver.
Breakfast.
Yeah, downtown.
Downtown.
Down
Denver.
right by the ballpark district. Right by Coors. A lot going on down there.
Yeah, because my
Lots
guess is
going
they're staying next to the ballpark.
But do you think they all went out, or was it just in like a room, like a banquet facility in the hotel?
Good question.
I don't know if you're going out as a group of 40, less players, but a group of 30.
Top 10 breakfast in downtown
Yeah,
Denver,
give me that.
Colorado.
Give me the top 5.
We have Blue Nest Coffee.
No, it wasn't coffee. They weren't all.
Oh, wait, these aren't. Hold on. It's weird. Did they go to Snooze Cafe?
I do like a Snooze. They have them here in San Diego. I do like Snooze.
What about Early Bird Restaurant in Midtown?
Could have been. Could have.
What about Sam's Number 3?
I think it was. I think it was in the hotel.
What about the West Saloon and Kitchen?
No.
What about Modern Market?
But here's
Eatery?
the thing: you can't go out and have a team meeting. You're going to tell the table next to you, "Hey, quiet down." Like, what are you going to do? Stand up? It's a group of 30.
I know.
It had to be in the banquet space. But I just would like to know, and they didn't share specifics apparently, but Jackson Merrill kind of shared the specifics, and so did Mike Shildt last night, which is basically like, we need to make adjustments once we get into games. Like we come up with a game plan and then we don't execute our game plan, and that's becoming a problem. But the point that Kevin wrote was, hey, they feel like there's this distinct difference since the team meeting, that this is a new version of them over the last 5 games.
Did they go to Four Friends Kitchen?
No, I don't
The
think they went to any
highlights,
of them.
the highlights of Four Friends Kitchen: lovely atmosphere, worth the wait, delicious food, great staff.
No, I don't think they went to any of them.
Here's a review. Now, let's talk about the food. Oh boy, was it worth the wait! Despite the popularity of this place,
Bro, there's no way
the
Manny
wait
Machado
was
is
definitely
waiting.
worth it.
They're not
I know.
waiting
I know.
40 minutes.
As soon as I took my first bite, I knew I discovered something special. This is a review. The menu offers a delightful variety of breakfast options, from classic staples to creative twists on traditional dishes. Each plate was prepared with attention to detail and bursting with flavor. Trust me, your taste buds will thank you.
What is this, Jim's back page? No, I don't think that was the point is away from the breakfast is that they feel like that changed potentially the way they were going to approach things. But I would say, has it really? Because I've watched these last 3 games against the Reds, and it's been the same old offense. The same old offense is what we've seen over these last 3 days. Maybe they need another breakfast.
Maybe they just need to eat breakfast all the time.
They should eat breakfast daily. Yeah, I do think it's good for them.
It is the most important meal of the
Yeah,
day.
it is important.
It
Yes,
is.
I agree with that.
Do you eat breakfast daily?
Every day.
What do you have?
I cannot not eat breakfast.
What do you eat for breakfast?
Either yogurt or oatmeal or toast with butter.
I never eat breakfast.
You're missing out. What do you have? I would like that. Whatever they're showing on TV, Denny's.
The
looks
Denny's
amazing.
all new rewards program.
Yeah. What do you eat?
I either have like a protein bar. It's a very light breakfast. I like breakfast in general, but I never like I'm like, I gotta wake up early to eat breakfast.
Yeah, I like breakfast foods, but yeah, I'm like Jim. I'm not
Here's
gonna
the thing.
eat in the morning. I'll
I
eat it
can't
later.
go to the gym without having something in my stomach. I don't need anything big, but I need like a cup of oatmeal.
Here's my problem. I snack at night. So because of that, I'm not waking up like super hungry. Like, oh, my stomach, I need food now.
Yeah, but that never works for me. I have a theory on you later in life as you get older.
What's your theory?
I'm going to project out, like when precincts are reporting. My theory is if I was betting on you losing weight as you get older or gaining weight, I'm going to bet on the gaining weight.
No, that won't happen.
Really?
No,
You're just going to be
refuse.
like, you're going to look like Jim.
No, if I get to a point where I'm like, oh, this is a problem, it's nip it in the butt, done.
And not eat?
No.
Or just eat healthier?
Just like work out more and make sure that like the belly fat.
Do you work out?
Yes, but not like daily, no.
How many days a week?
It's been a minute, okay?
No, but when I say, and when you do work out, what would be the thing that would be your go-to like move?
My go-to move? What are you talking about? What's your go-to move when you work out? Huh? Comes from a guy that doesn't work out over here. You clearly know who does not work out here.
When you go to the aerobic center,
what's your go-to move?
No, like what do you do? Are you like, hey, 20 minutes on the tread or like the Stairmaster, and then you're like doing chest, or you doing what are you doing?
Yeah, I lift weights and then I might run for like 15 minutes or like do the stair climber for like 15 or 20 minutes and
15 minutes.
Yeah.
What do you mean weights? Like just wait. You doing buys?
Yes. You don't go to the gym, though.
I know. I go to Orange Theory.
I know. It's not the gym.
It is the gym.
Even though I did see a Instagram post from Kristen the other day promoting how like you're number one at Orange Theory for something.
And then did you see they like, I have to show you, they like AI'd me into some photo.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've been running at Orange Theory. But my issue with the gym, I don't even know how we got down this path, is what am I supposed to do? There's so many different exercises you can do.
Yeah.
I don't even want to start because there's just so much.
That's why you get a trainer and they'll tell you what to do.
Such a production.
Yeah. Or if you go to a machine that tells you what to do and what body part it works.
What is that really going to do? They're like, hey, your shoulders.
Yeah. There's like
cares about my shoulders. We're talking about shoulders.
Like, okay, you're going to go to the gym and they're going to have a section like, here's the shoulder section. Right. Here's the
quads.
Here's where you get your bicep.
I just want one that does it all like boom.
Yeah, that's not how this works.
That's what I want.
Well, it's not going to happen.
We're going to hear from Mike Shildt on the other side. If you missed Mark Ziegler earlier, you'll hear from him at 5:30. Padres and Rockies coming up tonight at 6:40. It's the loopy day. This is John. Oh, also we have those Billy Idol tickets we'll give away on the other side. Billy Idol tickets. And this is with Jon Jim, September 23rd at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeart Radio app. All right, hey guys, it is Jon and Jim again for the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. The Players Place now open. We've been telling you about it. The hotel and spa at Jamul Casino Resort. The next level of luxury, it has arrived. You can treat yourself to a stunning new stay, rooftop relaxation, indulgent spa treatments, all the thrills of Jamul Casino Resort now all in one unforgettable destination.
And now open is Jamul 23 with endless dining every day. Savor San Diego's ultimate endless dining experience at Jamul 23, from their world famous lobster brunch served every morning to their VIP endless dining experience each evening. Indulgent chef curated specialties, seafood, prime cuts, and decadent desserts, all with stunning panoramic views.
And sports fans, you're going to love Tony Gwynn's Sports Pub, whether it's watching the NFL or the Padres, whatever it is. Great food. We've been over there. The food, the sports, all the action. Tony Gwynn Sports Pub, where fandom meets fantastic at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 with you until 6 p.m. Jim's back page is coming up. We do have these Billy Idol and Joan Jett tickets to give away 12 days from now, September 23rd at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Tickets and info, Ticketmaster.com. Packers Commanders about to get underway, right? Or are they underway?
They are underway. I have to actually get that game on my computer.
What would you say is a bigger game tonight? Wake Forest, NC State, ACC showdown Thursday night, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Okay.
Or
Packers Commanders in the NFL with Jordan Love and Jaden Daniels.
You know what actually the biggest game of the night is, John?
Padres Rockies?
No.
Okay.
It's NC State Wake Forest, you're right.
NC State Wake Forest is the biggest game?
It is, because in a month, no one's going to care about either of those two teams. So might as well get it in now.
Which one? This game?
Yeah, this
the
game.
NC State Wake
yeah.
Forest.
Yeah.
No, but we do have, again, Packers and Commanders. Are we going to read a lot into the winner of this game and be like, this is the team in the NFC? They're 2-0. Packers are 2-0.
It depends how they play.
Okay.
If the Packers go out and they kind of dominate here and kind of look like they did in their week 1 game against the Lions at home, I can make an argument Packers are, team to watch out for.
What if the Commanders just win on the road at Lambeau?
Same thing for the Commanders, I feel like. Commanders, whoever wins this game, I feel like has like a leg up on people's opinions on like, oh, this team could go far. And some people actually think this is the NFC title game tonight.
Right. The preview, we're saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible.
I mean, people thought that week 1's game on Sunday Night Football, Bills-Ravens, was the AFC title game preview. And people are like, oh, maybe this is the NFC title game.
So
preview.
Don't even worry about the other games.
Right.
The other weeks
don't play
games,
the rest of the games. No point. We already have the matchups.
I mean, Philadelphia would like to have a word, right?
They would.
The Chiefs would like to have a word with the week 1 game.
Don't even say
in the AFC. Niners don't want a word.
They don't want a word.
The Niners don't want.
Niners are like
words.
in the hospital.
Yeah, exactly.
Like permanently.
So anyway, Packers Commanders is underway from Lambeau. No score. About 2 minutes in. All right, we have the Mike Shildt. We have Mike Shildt. Let's. If you missed this earlier, this is Mike Shildt with the media. There's some updates in here, including on Xander Bogaerts and his health. It starts with Xander.
Timeline, no. I can tell you how he's progressing. He's back to baseball activity. Alluded to it yesterday. We got Team Bogey going, which is, obviously the medical, strength conditioning, the infield guy, the base running guys, the hitting guys clearly, and putting together that plan every day that Bogey's weighing in on. And today he's able to get out, move around a little bit with Leap on the infield, and he's going to get some swings in the cages. And, he's feeling good. As far as timeline goes, it's just too early. We're just trying to knock off, the next day and take inventory of what happened that particular, today. We'll do it after the game tonight. The group will get together and figure out what that looks like, and then figure out what tomorrow looks like, and we'll keep ramping as long as he keeps feeling good.
I saw JP Sears in the clubhouse today. Can you give us an idea of where he might slot and what you're looking for?
Yeah, we're going to put him in. We'll probably announce it after the game, but he's going to start in the series, and it'll allow some guys to push back and get him some extra days.
Strict insertion. We're not replacing anybody.
Strict insertion.
Yeah.
Yes. Strict insertion.
Oh
yes. Yeah. A firm insertion.
It's a family show,
yes.
Sam. Come on.
Oh my dude, Tom.
Hey, I'm not looking. I know we moved
gosh.
the table, but that's egregious. Look.
I didn't even go there at all. I don't know where.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, publicly. Yeah. All right.
So, what does that do? Okay.
It'll push Cease and Darvish back.
In terms of
and King and Pavetta. Everybody's going to get an extra, either an extra day or relative to the extra day or the day off, rather, 2 extra days.
And that's obviously helpful given kind of the time of the calendar and how much of it has a pitch.
That's all. That's the idea of all of it, is confidence in JP and the ability to, make sure we're taking care of Darvish. Michael just came back and has recovered well, but continue to make sure what that looks like. Dylan and Nick has been taking the ball and making sure they're getting their days appropriately, and we're keeping everybody in a position where they can go out and go pitch and dominate as a starter should.
Pavetta was saying that he's not going to pitch for 7 days. Is that pretty much correct?
I'm not ready to announce that, but he's going to be pushed back. I don't think it's a full 7 though.
Six. You're going with the 6-man rotation for a while?
We're not going the 6-man rotation. We're inserting
Just for this
Sears,
time around. Just for this time around.
which allows for that to happen. Yes.
Barry, just sorry for everyone out there. Sorry that Barry Bloom has to ask questions to Mike Shildt in the media scrum.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what we just listened to either. I did see this story real quick.
Barry Bloom.
We'll hear from Mark Ziegler at 5:30.
Biggest eye roll possible when Barry Bloom is asking questions. Everybody in the media scrum like kind of looks at each other like, "Are you serious?"
It's
right
weird
now?
because for 3 minutes they like discuss what was going on. It's like, oh, 6-man rotation. Like, no, we just spent 3 minutes saying we're not doing that. We're
Yeah,
just
no,
pushing us
no,
back a
Barry.
day.
We're just pushing back a day.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay.
I just saw this story
Yeah.
that Super Bowl's first appearance in Vegas was 2024. Close your ears. Remember the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I remember it.
And it's heading back in 2029. Just 5 years later, Las Vegas will get its second Super Bowl. So you're seeing now they're like rotation here. I mean, you're getting a lot of Vegas. You're getting a lot of SoFi. I even think Northern California, Levi's has one.
Levi's is this year.
Obviously, you know they always rotate in New Orleans, right? They rotate in Atlanta. Tampa's been in there. But I think what's becoming clear to me is SoFi and Allegiant are a big part of future rotations in Super Bowls. I hate the insult to injury thing. This obviously could have been San Diego. This is going back a decade.
I was about
now.
to say this absolutely should
That's
have
what I'm
been
saying.
San Diego.
This Allegiant thing that's going to play out was San Diego.
Yep.
If Allegiant existed in San Diego,
100%.
Right? Like as simple as that.
Yeah.
It is as simple as that.
And Vegas has now turned into like a rotation for Super Bowls. It's going to be a rotation for WrestleManias. They're going back there next year.
Right. That makes sense.
And they were just there. That like never happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably going to end up having a national championship game one year.
I do think you are right. They're having a Final Four coming up.
Okay. It is just
Maybe that's a
turned
good question.
into like a hub where the facility is really good, but more importantly, like you have the hotels and the convention center space and
The
everything.
everyone can get there from anywhere.
Everything that you're looking for like a huge event to happen in that city.
On cue, January 25th, 2027, the national championship in the college football playoff is at Allegiant Stadium, college football.
Makes sense.
The Final Four will be at Allegiant Stadium. The
Yep.
Super Bowl has been and will be.
Yep.
WrestleMania,
Yep.
they are. Yeah. And again, it's like what could have been. Not to say Vegas wouldn't have gotten a lot. They would have. I
Yeah.
think there's a world too where Vegas gets a lot. But there's no world where if this thing actually got done here in San Diego, you're not part of the process of major marquee events like the Super Bowl, which we already knew.
Yeah.
They've already had 3.
Have you've been to Allegiant Stadium, right? Broadcasting the game for the Aztecs.
Yeah, I
against
did an
UNLV?
Aztecs game there, and of course I saw Kendrick Lamar.
You did?
Yeah, thanks for paying attention. I just saw Kendrick Lamar, you moron.
What? Oh, you saw it at Allegiant Stadium?
I didn't see it, I saw him.
Like his concert. You saw
Yeah.
that concert.
Yeah, it's summer.
Okay.
It's a good venue. It's a
That's
good
what
venue.
I was gonna
You
ask.
haven't been in it?
No, I refuse to go to that place.
You weren't at the Super Bowl?
No, I was not at the Super Bowl.
Oh, it's a good venue. It's a good venue. I like the roof. Like it's weird. Once you're in, it's a good venue.
Because I was just thinking to myself, like, is the venue?
I don't
really-
think it's like legendary.
It's everything around it. It's Las Vegas.
Yeah.
It's the Strip.
And
It's
the venue's-
hotels. It's the convention center.
It's like
the
cool
airport,
looking, like the Death
food,
Star.
hospitality.
Yeah, it's all that.
It's everything that you'd want for like a hub for a major sporting event.
I mean, walkable to the Strip, right? Like when you Mandalay from Allegiant, Mandalay Bay
can
is a
walk there, yeah.
walkable. So I mean, it has what you're seeking when it's a major sporting event.
It should have been us.
Could have been us. Is the point? Could have been us. All right, Mark Ziegler. If you missed him, as the Aztecs get ready for their upcoming basketball season with these high expectations, we'll hear from Mark on the other side. Jim's back. Pages ahead. We promised you 2 free tickets to see Billy Idol. If you are caller 4, you are going. Billy Idol and Joan Jett, September 23rd at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Terrific giveaway. Call right now, 877-767-4760. Caller 4, you are going. 877-767-4760. Pick up your phone and call right now if you want to see Billy Idol and Joan Jett, September 23rd at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app.
This update's brought to you by Superstar Car Wash. Padres and Rockies start a 4-game series tonight at Petco Park. 6:40 first pitch. Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres. JP Sears will be starting tomorrow for the Padres as they're pushing their starters back a day. And Thursday night football underway at Lambeau Field. We are scoreless with 8:08 left in the first quarter between the Packers and the Commanders. Superstar Car Wash, the car wash with superpowers. Sign up for a free car wash today. That's right. Totally free for a limited time because Superstar Car Wash loves what makes you shine. See website for details.
All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. And if you missed it earlier, Mark Ziegler from the UT. Always great to connect with Mark, who, of course, covers San Diego State men's basketball, and he does a very good job of doing that. And, of course, there haven't really been higher expectations, I would say, than entering this year. I mean, it's right there. They've had high expectations a lot, and these expectations are very high heading into the year. So we caught up with Mark. We have this, right, Brett? And we started the conversation by asking about the Aztecs schedule, which is out with some of these tough non-conference games with Grand Canyon in the league as well, to get Mark's thoughts.
It's about what I expected. And, Brian Dutch has said it numerous times. He kind of sets his schedule based on what his expectations for the team are. If he's not going to take a team that he doesn't think has a chance to be really good into some, really tough games, particularly early. If he thinks they're really good, he's going to test them, and he's going to test these guys. And obviously, we knew they were going to be in the Players Only Festival, Players Era Festival. Sorry, and the Arizona game was something that they wanted to add, a little more strength schedule. I think they were looking at another game, and then as soon as Grand Canyon came into the league, and they realized they most likely would be playing at Grand Canyon, and now they are. That became another really tough game, and they felt like they had enough strength in the schedule. But even some of the non-conference home games, which are just bye games, a couple of those teams like Lamar and Troy are going to be picked first or second in their league, so they're not going to be pushovers. They're going to be tough games, good teams, talented teams. So I think it's a good overall mix of easier games and harder games, and they'll have a chance to get themselves secured in the NCAA tournament, probably by the end of November if they do well in Vegas.
Just how good do you think this team can be, if healthy?
Well, it was interesting today at practice, before practice started, when they gather around, there's usually a message before practice and then at the end of practice. And Brian Dutch was talking to him. He goes, look, I have high expectations for you guys, and other people really do. And our job is to live up to those expectations. And you just don't do that in games. You do that in September, on September 11th. I mean, you do it months before the season, every single day. You just got to grind. And they really had like a grinding practice today. I mean, it was pretty good, I thought. But I think that's kind of the message that, look, this team can do some really big things. And it's hard to say, in other sports and team sports, particularly in the NBA and baseball, where you got a best-of-7 series, you can kind of say, okay, our expectation is to get to the World Series or get to the NBA finals or the conference finals. But college basketball, it's a little bit harder to set a goal because of the one and done nature of the tournament. You just try to get to the tournament and then see what happens. But, and I kind of think that's the way they're approaching it. But I really feel like this team is expecting, at least, obviously, at least to be in the tournament, but to make a little bit of a run, minimum second weekend type thing in the tournament. And I think that's valid. I mean, they have everything you could imagine you'd need: size, experience, speed, athleticism, all that is there. It's just a question of, can they put it together on the floor?
Mark Ziegler is with us right now from the UT. It's funny you say that. It's not to compare this team in the preseason to the final chapter of the 2023 team that ended up playing for a national championship. But from a roster perspective, how would you compare like the depth? Because it feels like the calling card right now with this team is they have a chance to be very deep. And one of the stories of that team that ended up in a Final Four was, they had the 9 starters, essentially, obviously 4 coming off the bench. But do you feel like there are some similarities just with the roster makeup of the two teams?
Yeah, this one's a little bit more balanced in terms of, it's got a little bit of everything. That team just had a lot of bulk and size, and And when they figured it out after losing to Arizona in Maui, and kind of said, let's go with a double post, double low post. You don't see that very much in college, but we have the guys to do it. And not only will we just go double low post, but we're going to bring guys off the bench at those positions, and we're just going to grind you down. And they're a 6th-year senior, 5th-year senior, 5th-year senior, 4th-year senior. And so it was more experienced and it was thicker, I would say, than this team. Obviously, there was Jaden Ledee on that team and Quicker Rope. Guys like that who are just wide bodies. They don't have those on this team, but but in terms of just the overall depth, I think it goes even deeper because it goes past 9 on this team. It goes to 10, it goes to 11, it goes to 12, and so, Brian Dutcher said the other day, and you were there in his press conference, he goes, I almost have too much depth. I don't like having this much depth because somebody's not going to get to play as much as they deserve. And I think he's already sort of setting the team up for that. He's going to have to make some really hard decisions, unless they're made for him, either by how people are playing or by injuries. But that's the difference in this team, is that it just goes so deep and just keeps going. And how are you going to sort that out? Because you really can't play 12 guys in a 40-minute game.
How has Magoon looked? And leading off that, what's your expectation for Magoon this year?
So he's looking a lot better. I think he's ahead of his rehab. I kind of always expected him like middle of October. So we're probably a good month away, maybe 5 weeks away from him getting on the court, unless he really, really progresses in terms of like live action. Most of the time he's out there shooting around, but he's pretty mobile right now. I mean, he can run, move and shoot. He's just not stationary shooting. I think he can do some running in certain environments. But I just watch how much teaching's going on in every practice, how much timing's getting, tweaked and calibrated. And he's just not going to have that. And it's going to be hard for a young player to step in with all these expectations. I mean, Brian Dutcher said the other day, he goes, look, we think he's a pro. We think he's an NBA player. And, he very well might be, but I just think people have to be able to have, just like last season, have a little bit of patience with him. I don't think he's going to step on the floor and start having double doubles with 6 blocks. I think you're going to see it in bits and spurts, but I think it'll come around quicker than it did last year because he knows it's in there and he has that confidence. But just the game timing is going to take a little while. But again, going back to the depth, I mean, you watch and you got a guy like Jeremiah Odom who likely will back him up, who's a 6th-year senior, who's long, athletic, can shoot. I mean, I don't know how much they'll miss a little bit on the shot blocking without him in there, the rim protection. But other than that, I mean, I don't think you're going to miss too much when you have Jeremiah Odom in there. And if Magoon's not ready or can't play heavy minutes yet or his timing's not there, I think this guy's pretty darn good and is going to be a pretty, a good piece for them to have.
When you look at the league, and this stuff changes so often, where a team could be picked in the preseason 9th and they could finish 2nd, or maybe vice versa from 2nd to 9th or whatever. When you look at the league, though, as good as it's been quality-wise, getting teams to the NCAA tournament, then you add in the Grand Canyon, and Grand Canyon's had this recent success, obviously, getting to the tournament in the 2020s. What are your expectations for the league here in 2025-26?
Well, I think the league is down unless they really hit on a lot of the pieces they brought in. But I just think the power conference schools have more money. The money is just starting to really separate things every year. I think you see it a little bit more. It doesn't mean they don't make mistakes or they overlook a guy who is in a mid-major program and emerges. But I just think there could be fewer and fewer of those instances, if that makes sense. I look at a team like Nevada. It's going to be hard to replace what they lost. Boise State, is another one. New Mexico lost everybody. I mean, they still could be really good. Eric Olin's a really good coach. He's going to have a different approach and philosophy. But I just think in terms of like the proven commodities in this league, obviously San Diego State, and it's going to be I think Grand Canyon's the second best team in this league. And then Utah State's going to be pretty good, I think, again, although they lost some pieces. But I don't know that it's going to be a 4 or 5, 6 bid league. I think it's going to be more closer to 3. But that's still pretty good. I mean, you don't have too many mid-major leagues like that. But the nature of the beast in the Mountain West is that the travel is so difficult, particularly for the C-level teams, that's the great equalizer. And so you can have a team like Nevada that is maybe down a little bit, but you got to go up to Nevada and play, and it's a tough crowd and a tough environment, and the altitude, the travel, and it's cold, all those things, and it makes games a lot closer than maybe they are. They should be on paper.
How big of an impact do you see Reese Waters have in returning this year from injury?
Well, I keep saying it, and even like the last few practices I've been to, I find myself forgetting about him. I think he's the forgotten man in this whole equation. Look, he was their best player last year going into the season. He was their only all-conference player. He had, the season before, the first half of 2 seasons ago, he was, 23-24. He was probably their best player. I mean, Jaden Ledee was really, really good, but man, Reese had some big games. I keep going back to the Gonzaga game at Gonzaga where he was the best player on the floor by a mile. Nobody could stop him. He just looks so good. And then he rolls his ankle and he kind of gets behind. He comes back too soon and pushes himself. And then he gets in his head, and in his back half season isn't that good. And then doesn't play at all last year. And people forget about him, but man, he looks good in practice. I don't think he's missed a shot since I've been there since July. I mean, he makes everything. And, his defense was good, and he brings size, he brings experience. And, if he keeps it together and he stays healthy, he could have a huge season. I mean, he's such a talented player, and everyone's forgotten about him. They're just talking about Miles Bird. They're talking about Magoon. They're talking about Farrell. They're talking about the transfers they brought in, Taj, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But don't sleep on this guy.
That is so well said. Mark Ziegler with us from the UT. Mark, just a couple of more. I wanted to ask you just locally about the impact of UC San Diego to the WCC. And now you got, obviously, USD. You have UCSD. Why the move, and what does it mean for like the local Division I college basketball scene?
Well, I think the move is a couple things. I mean, I think their success in basketball last year got them thinking like, well, wow, that was easy. Our first year of Division I, and we went to the tournament and almost beat Michigan. Well, yeah, we could play at even higher level. And I think that got them thinking. I know the WCC had been kind of chasing them for a while, and they'd kind of been resisting. And that, I think, kind of pushed them over the top. Let's get into a better league, and let's, maybe a little more TV revenue, some more exposure, and Gonzaga will be gone. And, and then I also think the other half of that equation is what's going on with the Big West. The bottom of the Big West is just a mess. It's, you're playing basically in high school gyms with laminated wooden bleachers you pull out from the wall, and not a lot of resources. And I think they just felt like they outgrew it really quickly. Now, that said, be careful what you wish for, because the WCC without Gonzaga still is a pretty good conference. And there are several programs in there, USF, St. Mary's, Santa Clara, that have the kind of resources that UCSD does not have. I mean, they charter everywhere. USF has houses just across the street from campus for their coaches because it's so expensive to live up there. They have buy budgets. Some have practice facilities. I mean, so these are the type of things that, that's the next level. And yes, they competed last year at that level, but that was kind of an aberration. They had a really good coach who they've lost. And he also kind of had a cheat code there where he figured out getting Division II guys who played a lot of minutes, taking a lot of big shots, been in a lot of big games, even if it's at a lower level, really translates to the Division I level. Everyone else kind of ignored it. Now everyone's onto that, and the big boys are offering those guys NIL, so they can't get those same kind of players. And so I don't know that they're going to have that same kind of success. So I don't think it's going to be as easy as they think it is. But this move was just, it basically was for that reason, that they felt like they outgrew the Big West, and they wanted to get off that train and get on the next one.
And then finally, Mark, we're up against it, but St. Mary's and the WCC, all this movement that's taking place, mid-major basketball, what is this going to mean for St. Mary's? Is the Pac-12 still possible, or what do you think happens with the Gales?
I don't know. I know there's been talk, but here's the problem with St. Mary's. Is it a program or is it a coach?
Right.
And that's the eternal question. I think it's probably more the latter. It's Randy Bennett. What happens when Randy Bennett leaves? They don't have great resources. They don't have a great arena. They play in the pavilion. It's not a huge budget athletically. It's not a huge school. They don't have a lot of resources from donors and NIL and that type of thing. And I just think that once Randy Bennett's gone, it's going to be run. I think a lot of people think they're just going to be a run of the mill, lower level WCC team, kind of like a USD is. And so I think that's been the resistance for like the Pac-12 grabbing them. Yeah, they're sexy right now, but 10 years down the road, where are they going to be? And so I think they'll probably stay in the WCC. But then again, whoever thought that UCSD would be in the WCC? So anything is possible.
Anything is possible. We know that in the world of college realignment. Mark, appreciate you taking time for us. We're looking forward to your coverage in the UT during this upcoming season. And thanks for taking time. All right.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right, great stuff. All right, an update from Lambeau on the other side. Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. All right, up against it a bit here. Final time on Jon and Jim. We'll have a wrap-up show for you tonight on YouTube, Padres Rockies.
And the guys were right. I was all over that long hug, as was John.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we spent some time on that hug.
Oh, we did.
We spent some time on that.
We spent longer than 5.5 seconds, which was how long the hug lasted between Shildt and Toddy.
Right, we even hugged.
I know.
Packers have opened up a commanding, no pun intended.
They're
playing the Commanders. A commanding 7-0 lead.
Yeah, this game's over.
I mean, has a team ever overcome a deficit of that significance? 7 points.
Packers are going to win the Super Bowl.
He tells me at the break, he's like, this Packers team's unbelievable. I'm like,
no,
relax.
I said they're legit.
It's like, okay, I've seen enough. I'm like, okay, relax.
Maybe Washington isn't.
That's what
it's
maybe
1 quarter of game 2.
No, see what I'm going
Jordan Love just got sacked. Packers suck.
The NFC East is kind of a lot like the NL West, to where the Dodgers would be the Eagles. So the Eagles are in there, but but the second team, there's usually a new team every year, kind of like how the 1 year Arizona went and the Giants went 1 year. With the East, it's the same thing where the Cowboys will go 1 year, and then the Redskins, the Commanders, they'll go 1 year, and so it's kind of like that. So maybe this is their year.
When's the last time the NFC East had back-to-back seasons with the same team winning the division?
20 years.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So,
where do you think the Packers parade would be?
I don't know. Somewhere in
Green Bay.
They don't have a lot of choices.
Exactly. That's right. It's not the world's largest.
It's
city.
street 1, 2, or 3.
Right.
Yeah, it's it's a tiny neighborhood.
So you've seen enough.
Do
you think they lose a game this year?
17-0.
This is the perfect season. 20-something to know with the postseason.
I meant regular season.
You think that the 72 Dolphins are somewhere all nervous together? Like, man,
probably not.
We're not going to be able to sleep tonight.
Well, there's no denying the Packers are a good team. So other Commanders.
Because I was just going to say, it's only 1 quarter. We don't know how this game is going to finish.
I know. I get it.
What we can all agree on is the Packers' white on white uniform combination is not it.
Ugly.
Yeah.
Like, just stick with the normal.
We got to sell everything.
Every day or every home game, green on gold with the hell. Like, come on, what are we doing?
Right. Like,
they have worse jerseys than that.
I know they have.
Yeah, you're right.
Those are
wait
those
till
old ones.
Wait till they bust out the Acme
helmet.
Packers jerseys this year.
Those are awful.
No, I know.
They're awful. Nike does just a ridiculously horrible job sometimes with jerseys.
They really do. They really have kind of dropped the ball. No pun intended.
Haha.
Get it? Ball.
Yep. City Connect.
Padres will have new City Connects in 2026. Stay tuned.
Thank goodness.
Don't go anywhere. We'll have an update
Stay here.
All right. If you missed anything today, sportssd.com, iHeartRadio app, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, or Spotify will get you ready for the weekend series tomorrow. Kevin Acey will join the show. We'll talk about week 2 in the NFL as well tomorrow on Jon and Jim beginning at 2 p.m. All right. For Brent and Jim, I'm Jon. Keep it here. This is San Diego Sports 760.
Okay.
Bye-bye.